What you waiting for? It's time. Time for love. It's time. Time for the sun and sand. It's time. Time for fun. It's time. It's time. It's time to let your hair down. Come on. Come on. Come on. To have no fear. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's time. What you waiting for? It's time. 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 What you waiting for?
I gotta have it on. We live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Merv Britto Show. My name is Anthony Gonsalves. It's a dunia mein akela. You know what? People don't believe I know my Hindi. I am doing the show live right now. For all of you just tuned in, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Merv Britto Show. And they didn't believe I would do it. I just won a bet, by the way. Thank you for joining us for another edition of the Merv Britto Show. We do the show live from Goa every Sunday. And we are going to be... Joanne, I'm going to talk about the topics we're talking about today, right? On today's show, we're going to talk about several things that are happening right here in Goa. Ladies and gentlemen, we do the show every Sunday. We do it live, and people don't believe that this show is live broadcast without any editing. And as you can tell,
much prep.
Much prep. And we're late today at 6:03. Anyway, welcome to another edition of the show. On today's show, we're going to be talking about a couple of specific topics that are trending right now. Topical, here in our own backyard, a place we're very, very... What's the word I'm looking for?
Passionate.
We care about this place that we live and call home, called Goa. We're talking about the CCP election. We're talking about the gas crisis. We're talking about on an international level, we're talking about the Iran war.
Yep.
Or as Donald Trump likes to call it, what does he like to call it? A disruption. He doesn't like to use the word war.
No, he likes to use the word war, but I think a lot of...
I'm going to put you on the spot, Merv, on that one.
Are you? Okay. Well, as we always do, we're going to get to those topics in a little while. We're going to mention our social media, but before we do any of that, it's called the Merv Britto Show. My name is Merv Britto, but I take all the credit. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a bunch of people, a team that are right here. Most of them are right here in the office that do a lot of work to make it happen. And I always introduce and give thanks to every one of them. We're going to start off with the one and only Mr. Ajoy Barreto.
What's up, guys? This is, and I'm feeling very jealous of Merv.
Why?
Hey, you get to work from the beach and we're working with the studio, mate. What's going on there?
It's a little windy today, and it's a good thing I'm bald as a baby's bum, so the wind doesn't affect my hair.
Look at that view behind you, man.
It is. This is in Goa, Baba. I'm in Kalangut. Do you believe me?
You're Kongate, you're there.
Looks like more gym to me.
Really, you knew exactly where the picture was taken. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that lovely voice. It's the one and only Mr. Wilbert Cardozo.
Hello, guys. Hola, baby.
Uh-oh. He's going to start already. He's going to start early. Without a mic today, the one and the good smeller, he is Mr. Neil Rodrigues. And I got it right, Neil.
How are you?
I didn't call you Neil Ribeiro for a change because I'm looking at the other Ribeiro sitting next to... How you doing, Neil?
All good.
Ladies and gentlemen, second last but not least, we've got another... Well... I was going to say pretty face, but that'd be a lie. He's on a microphone today. The Yalla Habibi himself, the Habibti and Babibis. I don't know what I'm saying. The one and only Kirsten Riberio.
Salam and good day, my beautiful people.
Come on the camera with me. Come on the camera, dude. Come right here. Come next to me.
Yalla, baby. Habibi.
He's a good-looking guy. He's got a face made for radio.
All the ladies, take a look.
All the lovely ladies out there. You want to get in touch with Kirsten, let us know. You know what? Kirsten is doing a great job. All of you guys, I really, really appreciate everything you guys do, from social media to actually putting the show together to broadcasting it live. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the most important, the biggest, I was going to say biggest dick of them all. The biggest, they're all men in the studio. It's only one lady.
Listen.
The big boss, my wife, she was the breakfast queen today, the one and only Mrs. Joanne Britto.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Lovely to be back this Sunday. Hope you're all having a great weekend. And I wanted to just point out that I've got this gorgeous flower behind me. And this was gifted to myself from Neil last week for Women's Day. So I thought it was really kind of him because he made one for me and one for Dr. Nandita.
And he made those. He didn't buy them.
He presented them after the show. So I got a blue one and she got a red one. So
He's a bit of a Casanova, that Neil.
Yeah.
He's very crafty. You know what I'm saying?
So Dr. Nandita, though, wasn't she amazing last week on the show?
She was, sweetie. It's such a joy to be able to highlight that kind of talent. She's a local Goan who's also just like us, so passionate about Goa. And it's nice to be able to toot her horn, so to speak, and all the great work she does. We'll talk a little bit more before I get off track. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a live broadcast. If you want to get in touch with us, you can contact us on social media, on all the places where you get your social media online. Insta, WhatsApp, X, YouTube, I don't know, anywhere you get your social media, check out the Merv Britto Show. Also, we can be contacted live on any show. If you don't believe the number of people, I met Ricard. We had a lovely breakfast at Chocolati.
At Chocolati.
And we were having a chat with Ricard. Listen, if you want to get in touch with us, 750-724-6246 is the number to contact us. We will answer your phone. We will put you on there. We might be contacting a couple of people. People have complained, by the way. You've not answered their call, by the way. I'll join last couple of times. And it's only because we've got people like Nandita in the studio who was so important. And she was so kind to share some time with us. And it was more important to speak to her. But we would love to have your calls. We will answer your calls. Social media, I've mentioned it. I've got to mention one last thing before we jump into the disclaimer. The opinions and everything that we speak about on the show is our own personal opinion and do not in any way represent the show, the Merv Britto Show. These are our own personal opinions.
Yep.
And you're more than welcome to contact us and speak about your opinions, which we will never edit and try and take you in a different direction. You're more than welcome to speak your mind live on the air with us. Okay, we got that out the way.
Yes.
Back to the lovely Dr. Nandita and Sethu. What a phenomenal organization and what a lovely lady. So down to earth.
Absolutely. She was fantastic. And as always, she was right on message with such a down-to-earth element. Always very down-to-earth, very honest. And she doesn't like to use the word humble, but she just also sees what she's doing as something that she just takes in her stride, all of the help that she's given to so many families along the way in Goa. And all of the people that she brings along with her, because she's got such a huge following. And I think all of her team are also so dedicated as well and so extremely supportive. It's so lovely that we got so much love for her and lots of great feedback as well across the week.
Well, it speaks volumes about somebody, and that's what I love the most. I love understated. My brother-in-law is like that, Mr. Arjun. Mm-hmm. He is exactly like that. He's understated. He is so accomplished. And Nandita touches so many people's lives on a daily basis. And she's so under her, Lewis, and her son Dhruv. They've got such a lovely, tight-knit family, but she's so understated. She touches the lives of so many people and so many children.
Yeah,
and she just keeps playing it down. Oh, I'm blessed. I'm love her. She's very modest. She doesn't like to be put on the spotlight, but she was lovely. She was brilliant, and it was apropos.
Yeah,
it was perfect for Women's Day.
And I hope that some people maybe went online and did some additional donations to give them a boost so that they can actually furnish out their new centre.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. I'm glad you mentioned it. Sethu. I don't know what it's called. Probably Sethu.com, Sethu.org. What is it, Ajo? You should know. Your lovely sister Anjali's involved in it.
Bringing it right up.
He's going to look it up now. Watch him. Speaking of which, today's Mother's Day in the UK.
It is Mother's Day in the UK.
Stop. I'm going to get the brownie points to my beautiful mother-in-law, Miss Carol Lamplow. A very happy Mother's Day. I've sent you your card. I hope it's I hope you got it. And she knows I'm foolish. Happy Mother's Day. I love you.
She got it early.
You just want to get on her good side, right? You know,
I love my mother-in-law.
Your life is
blessed.
Your life is all depending on it.
No, it doesn't. I'm blessed to have a mother-in-law like she's one in a million. Really, I always said if I ever get married, I want to have a good relationship with my in-laws, and she's the best, dude. She's one of the most easygoing, helpful, kind. There's so many adjectives, and the fact is, she's another understated person that does so much for so many people that she touches. To all the mothers in the UK, it's only being celebrated in the UK.
UK and Ireland is.
Why just the UK and Ireland, though?
Different times of year, different days of the year, Joy.
Yeah.
So to all of you mothers in the UK.
We like to do it during Lent.
Is it? Okay.
It's always been March for the UK.
A happy Mother's Day, Carol Lamplow, and all the mothers. Carol, the other Carol Lamplow.
Yeah, the other Carol Lamplow, my sister-in-law. So they're all having lunch together. So my mum, Carol, my sister-in-law, Carol, my lovely niece, Scarlett. So they're all going to be celebrating.
All mums.
All mums. And my brother's done a daddy's menu, for a bit of a US-themed menu, actually.
Mr. Craig Lamplow, I tell you what, man.
So they're all having fun together.
Whenever I talk about Mother's Day, I think about all the men. Because if it wasn't for us mothers, they wouldn't have a Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? Let's not ruin the moment. Also, I want to wish a good buddy of mine, a very good one, one of my favorite people in the world, Mr. Dale Menezes. A very happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dale. And it was our friend Ian's birthday on Friday as well.
And this is why we do the show. We do the show to bring people together. If you know people that you'd like to send a shout out to, if you want to say hello and wish them for whatever the reason may be, or talk about something that is trending, or talk about something, or mention to us, bring something to our attention that we're potentially talking about, get in touch with us, 7507-246-246. We've also got a website, www.themervbrittoshow.com. You can learn more about all of the people that are involved in the show, but also you can check out previous episodes. We've done about 40, 50 episodes.
Yep.
48. Today's 48.
Is today 48?
Yeah.
That's right, Barretto. What are we doing for 50, mate?
We're going big, baby.
I want to do an episode where I can actually drink on the air. Like I want to have an alcoholic drink. Well, it'll be after Lent anyways. But I've talked so much about doing this.
Up for Lent as well.
Mom, you know what happened last time you drank on the show, right?
I had to go pee, dude.
Oh, you remember that? Oh,
Yeah,
good,
of course.
good.
It was only one time. The fact of the matter
Oh
remains.
my God! This brings me back such good memories.
We're going to do a show. I think 50, it should be a celebration. All of us should be on the air. All of us on camera, and all of us should be drinking.
Let's do it. I'm the farthest away from the loop, but I can manage.
I talked about this. I've said this to you. I mentioned briefly about Chocolati, what a lovely breakfast we had. I met Ricard, and we had a great conversation. He's another one of these guys that I want to bring on the show, along with Savio Fernandez and who else did I mention? I want to do a show called The Legends. All these guys in Goa.
His daughter, we went to his daughter's wedding.
Yeah. Agnel Fernandez, Savio Fernandez, this guy Ricardo. These are all like, what are they called? They're the pillars in the Goan community. Marius Montero, Cavalas Marius. These guys know about the history. We're so passionate about the show and what we do about the show, highlighting topics in Goa. These guys have been around for forever. I'm not trying to say they're old, but they're fucking ancient. They've been around forever. They know so much about this place that could make a show called The Legends so interesting to discuss and stuff from the hippie generations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyway, we will do a show. We had a great conversation.
No, it was great because also it was nice to talk about what's going on here in Goa, and we were also talking international politics as well. So it was lovely because we hadn't been to Chocolati for years, and so we just basically thought, hey, let's go for a classic
Simultaneous.
breakfast.
No, spontaneous.
Spontaneous.
Oh my God, the word. I want to congratulate
lovely.
India, by the way. You want to talk about the World Cup? We won the World Cup.
T20
Boom,
Cricket World
boom.
Cup.
Give it up, baby.
So yeah, England won. I mean, England. Sorry, they should have won.
Don't you dare.
New Zealand were beaten by 96 runs by India. So that was a phenomenal achievement. And we missed out on the big celebrations in Mapsa because we weren't able to get to Shigmo on Sunday. We'd been invited along, hadn't we?
We didn't even mention about T20, the World Cup.
We meant to, but we just talked for such a long time.
And you mentioned Shigmo. Shigmo's actually still happening.
Yes.
How many days is Shigmo, by the way?
14.
It's a 14-day celebration.
Yeah. So it's harvest.
It is a Hindu. It's more of a Hindu festival that celebrates a harvest festival.
Harvest festival.
Joanne, I'm impressed, sweetie. Talk about it. No, I'm serious.
No, I was reading up about it.
You're reading it, dude.
I was reading up about it earlier. So obviously it's also giving thanks for the harvest. So it's great because it lasts across 14 days. So, you know, it's just really, really nice to be able to celebrate with the rest of the Hindu community in Goa.
They've got lovely pictures on the screen. I can see these pictures of it.
It's live, I think.
Is this live?
No, this was from the Panjim Shigmo day.
we went to Carnival, which is a Catholic celebration before Lent. Shigmo is a agrarian. It's a farm festival, kind of a celebration by the Hindus.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, they put on a show, guys. These guys, the details, the outfits, the colors, and everything they do, it puts us to shame. It is such a brilliant celebration for 14 days. They have it. What's the schedule anymore? Anybody know? Look at this. Look at the stuff that
in
they...
the Porvorim today, because in the morning I saw all the roads blocked over there near
Yeah.
Maldi Goa.
I think I better catch a flight back to Panjim.
Yeah,
but
you're gonna be
just a
helicoptering back, man. You're not gonna, look at how beautiful some of these colors, the vivid colors, the dances. They really put on a show. They take Shigmo so seriously, and I love it.
That's awesome. That's really
It
awesome.
is. And sadly, we didn't get to go both Sundays. Shashank called us or invited us
Yeah,
last
he invited
Sunday
us
from
last
Upsa.
Sunday, yeah.
And we did the show and we finished very late with Dr. Nandita and today also. I want to wish everybody
Aren't you going to? You're going to go on the 18th, aren't you?
we can try.
On Wednesday.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
We can. It's a brilliant celebration of the farming and the you're basically trying to thank.
Yeah, you're also honouring your ancestors as well, the warrior ancestors as well. So it's just really nice to be able to do that.
It is. I think it's brilliant, and they give thanks. You've just gone through a very important time in Panjim, Mr. Britto, with the election.
Yes.
The CCP elections just got done.
I thought we were going to show some of the celebrations after.
Shigmo, they're on the screen already.
No, that's
What do you want?
not the celebration.
What do you want to show?
That's for the festival, because it was like I think it just went absolutely mental, didn't it?
What?
In Mapsa because they were showing the Cricket World Cup live.
You got some
T20 World
footage?
Cup live.
We do.
So
Put it on the
We were
screen.
going to show that because I was just really jealous that we weren't able to be there. It would have been brilliant to be part of that celebration.
Shashank from the MAPSA, he's part of the MAPSA.
There you go.
The pillars in MAPSA.
He's in his ward.
So he had invited us. He said, you got to come and check it out. You've seen Carnival. Carnival's great. You've got to come and see the Shigmotsav, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a show they put on and they do such a great job, and I would have loved to go on. But this is all part of it.
Yeah. So they were watching the T20 final.
Oh, they had this on the big screen.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's not fair because all the people that are doing the dancing in the shows in the background get ignored.
No.
And everybody's watching cricket. That's not cool.
They got some.
So Merv, we got a basically a comment from Bella Wander Vlogs. He says, important, please give credit to the owner of clips and video that you use in your video, or copyright waiting for you.
Who the hell is this?
This is Bella Wonder Vlogs.
Bella Wonder Blogs, you can clearly see we've mentioned prudent media. We're not trying to steal anything, man. We're putting it up on the screen. We're just trying to promote goodwill and good. We're not trying to take anything from anybody, but thank you for the comment. And that makes sense. You always have to give credit where it's due. So yeah, whatever. We'll put that up there. Ajoy,
Yes.
You've got more video of this because I want to jump into the show. There's so much to talk about, dude. I want to get in.
This is by the way, a victory rally that happened in Kondaim Industrial Estate, where they're celebrating India's victory, as you can see. Yeah.
Cricket, it's a big deal, dude. Cricket's massive here, mate.
Yeah.
This is part of the celebration, T20, yeah?
And this is from Prudent Media, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, now he's going to mention everything.
But people can read it. We've actually got the watermarks on there as well.
We're not trying to hide anything, dude. We're not trying to hijack or take anything from anybody. We always want to give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to jump into the show. I want to get into that's brilliant. People can watch this online. They can see it on the website. Let's talk about the CCP elections in Panjim, dude. How many seats?
So apparently there was a resounding victory for the Babush Monserrate, or what's his full name? What's Babush's full name?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Babush Monserrate's his team. So they've won 27 out of 30 seats in the CCP, which is pretty phenomenal.
What does the CCP stand for?
The Corporation of the City of Panaji.
Very similar to
Are you
MAPSA.
saying Atanasio? I mean,
Atanasio, correct.
Let me ask you this, yeah? So we were very lucky to have Shashank, what's his surname? I forgot Shashank's surname.
Narvekar.
On the show, and he explained how, unlike a panchayat in most villages, Mapsa and Panjim have the corporation, right?
Yes.
This is 30 seats, and they had the elections. You got a big black mark on your finger.
Yes.
because you voted.
Yes,
What did you
I'm
think
right.
of these elections? Good, bad, ugly? Babush is a big name, dude. He's been around. His son Rohit is the mayor, right?
Yes, his son was and may continue to be the mayor. I'm not sure, but yes, he was the mayor in the previous.
I wanted to ask Rohit, what happened about Carnival? Why the hell was it so delayed, dude? He was there that day,
Yeah.
and we saw him, and I was dying to go and ask him, but he was a little bit busy.
Yeah.
What is your take on the elections? Fair?
One thing which was really confusing was that we had a delimitation exercise. Basically, it's done, I believe, by the what do you call it? the election commission, and it was done so late that there was a lot of confusion. For example, I'll just give you an example. In my ward, I am from ward number 1, and about I think 1.5 week before the poll day, we received news that that our ward was reserved for women only.
What?
And for women coming from scheduled caste or scheduled tribe. So that immediately changes the dynamics, right? We are only allowed to vote for a woman, and that too from a particular community, which is weird to me.
What?
Right? Yeah, that's what happened.
You're kind of trying to tell the outcome.
And what happened was you had a bunch of women that we've never met in our lives springing out of the woodworks, being put up in this case, and we didn't know where they came from, their background, what were they bringing to the table. We were so rushed.
This is. This smells up a stench, dude.
Yes.
Something doesn't sit right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is allowed to make changes to the eligibility or the voters or the candidates or whatever? How do you make changes a week and a half before the election?
That's a good question. I would believe that it would come from the election commission, but I could be wrong there. But
So
yeah.
you were limited to who you could vote for?
It's not like I have any prejudice against women. I just would love to know what any person who's asking for my vote, whether it be for the municipal elections or the state elections, we want to see what your qualifications are, what you bring to the table, and how you're going to execute it. So if we don't have enough time to assess that, then how do we make a proper decision for the betterment of society?
I'm very skeptical about these kind of topics and situations here. I'm very openly against the way we operate here in this beautiful country and this beautiful state. The legal system here in India is a joke, and I'm not afraid to say it. It's sad because a normal regular court case takes you 10, 15, 20 years. But the political system is equally flawed, and it's sad, it's scary when you can change rules a week and a half. If you're saying, I wasn't there, I'm not in Panjim, I don't know much about it, but based on what you're saying, if you can make changes, something's not right, because it has to go through a due process and it's got to be implemented by the proper authorities to make these changes to an election. You can't guide, you can't force, you can't steer people to vote a specific way or for a specific person without having them. For example, they've got to be nominated, they've got to join the campaign, they've got to do all these things prior to the election so people know they're properly standing for the elections. You can vote for them. But I believe in transparency. I believe in if you've got nothing to hide, Joanne, you should be able to talk about these things, right? So if you're going to be somebody who's going to be suddenly put up for election a week and a half and you know nothing about them, something's not right, Ajoy, and I don't know how this was allowed to happen.
Can I just ask you, Ajoy?
Yes.
Were they all from the political parties that would have ordinarily been standing in your ward anyway?
I guess so, because they have to be from that particular area.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. But my point is, in a sense, this is not what women's empowerment should be.
Of course
right?
not. I don't understand.
I think you should create a program to develop leaders that takes some time. And what has happened is you had a lot of I'm not going to point fingers, but majority, if not all, of these people vying for votes for the municipal elections, they put up these women who were basically puppets. There's no other way to say it, because they were just there because of this new rule, and they brought nothing to the table. So
but how can they be just put in place? How can you be? But that's what I'm saying. Even for the Panchayat elections, even for the MLA, this thing elections here in Goa, right?
Yeah.
People switch parties. People have these people not even from that area stand for elections. You have couples, you have all this kind of stuff that's happening, right? And we spoke about this on a previous show, Joy. It shouldn't be allowed. A lot of these things that are happening that are completely flawed. You can clearly see them a mile away.
Yeah.
This is happening on a local, small village level, right?
Yeah.
I definitely believe in transparency, Joe, and we talked about these elections happen all around the world. I'm not saying they're perfect anywhere else. The fact of the matter remains, you have to have rules, you have to have laws that have to be changed and implemented from a higher level, higher department, legal system, electoral department, whatever the case may be. But even, for example, for Donald Trump to vote and as a presidential candidate, you've got the Democrat and the Republican parties, and their nominations get put before they have to go through these processes before they can even stand for elections.
Yeah.
They have to declare all their assets. There cannot be any conflicts of interest for these people standing for election. You can't be the president selling your company or your products or your wares, right? You got to push all this stuff as far away. And I spoke to Ricard about this.
Yeah, of course.
But if you're standing, for example, in a village election, and a couple of things that just glaringly stand out, how can you have dummy people that are just put there to stand as puppets?
Well, the thing is that, I mean, was this a genuine effort for diversity? How many wards was it where they were introducing
all
women
of this has
only?
to be declared in advance.
That seems a very, very strange kind of
So I'm just reading from the internet here. It says the municipal elections in Panjim is a delimitation, is a process of redrawing ward boundaries so that each ward in the corporation of the city of Panjim has a roughly equal population representation. This is governed by the Goa Municipalities Act 1968. So it studies, examines population data, proposes new ward boundaries, and recommends reservation categories. But this seems like a very long, drawn-out process to me. Right? When you're talking about the population of India or even Goa, these are huge numbers. And it should be an open system wherein people should see that it's fair.
Yeah.
There's no indication as to why these decisions were made, and it's not been made public. But how can a decision to change? Basically, I can put a puppet in place, and you have to vote for this person, or I can give you limitations on the voting rules of who you can and cannot vote. This cannot be changed last minute. Are you sure this was changed a week and a half before the election?
Very, very close to the opinion poll.
And nobody,
election day. Very
and
close.
Nobody's made an objection.
So obviously the people who have lost now, there was a couple of people. I think one councillor who went to the courts about a week before the poll, and the court has not dismissed his case. They've reserved judgment. So I mean, when they say reserved judgment, they will be passing a judgment. So there is
What's
some
the use?
That's the problem.
10 days later, there's an injunction process. You can stop something from happening.
Yes.
But once it's happened, it's too late. You're not going to turn it back. Anyway, I don't know enough about this, and I'm going to move on. The fact of the matter remains that I firmly believe we love this place. We're passionate about Goan. We talk about politics right here and the corruption, and we talk about all these nasty words. It's not to stir it up. It's meant to make more people aware of what's going on. For example, and I talk about this all the time, we would love to have people that want to get into power and be elected and voted into power to do good for the people, for the place.
Yeah.
People like I'm not going to get into names, but people get into power and they line their pockets. Yeah, this is on a small local level. You really think that our local politicians are pulling the strings and changing these rules and laws, and all of these massive changes, like the development in Goa, which is horrible, are on a local state level. There's big boys that are running the show from above. That the puppeteers, I call them the puppet masters, that run these, our local politicians, are controlled by these guys. They're not able to just change rules and laws that easily and get away with it. So there has to be transparency. You're developing hillsides here in Goa, and who's giving them the permissions?
Absolutely.
You're changing rules and laws for the elections. Who's giving them the permissions? You're bringing in casino boats. And by the way, I've got a great comment. I'm going to go back to comments by Rishad Somebody named Rishad mentioned about Merv, you can't paint everything by one. Rishad made a comment. We'll get to comments later. And he said, you can have competition. You can't just limit it to one restaurant. You can have as many restaurants as you want. Restaurants aren't illegal. Casinos are. But why are we circumventing the laws and allowing this to happen and getting more and more on a river that belongs to us here in Goa, something that should be illegal anyway? Anyway, that's a different can of worms. The fact of the matter, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk, we're going to move on. The point I'm trying to make is, if we're going to be as successful as a country, we need to have fundamental rules and laws. And if they're broken, you've got to have a proper legal system that functions in an expeditious or a proper way, like it does everywhere else in the world to protect people and the breaking of rules. Yeah, go on.
The thing is, in my opinion, the constant endeavor of any policymaker should be to make the rules, the laws black and white, right?
Yeah, makes it clearly understood.
Make it clearly understandable, and there should be no, it should not be open-ended.
Sorry, Ajoy.
Yeah.
It's not done by one person.
It's done by a series of by the people we elect.
And it has to be official, right?
Yes. So the problem is we have a lot of laws and rules that are open-ended and deliberately kept as such. So it's there's a lot of gray areas. A clear case is the definition of offshore. Do you know what offshore means?
You're talking about that 15.
I'm talking about the casinos, right?
Yeah, the 15.
I understand what offshore means. It means anything not on land or whatever. But there's rules and there's nuances to even that statement. The fact is that it can be offshore 100 meters, 500 meters, fathoms, yards.
Exactly. So one would wonder, why isn't it defined properly? So
because you want to keep people guessing.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Shashank talked about this, right? Why are rules and laws? We've got more comments about MAPSA, by the way.
I see.
Why are rules and laws in this state, in this country, not being followed? And only a few people that run the show, and I'm talking about on a federal, on a big time level. Can I say the Adanis? Can I say the big boys, the Ambanis and all?
Well, you won't be the only person saying that.
These guys run the country, guys. But why should it affect what happens in my Goa? We're celebrating Shigmo, right?
Yeah.
Shigmo is a farming festival celebrated by the Hindus. How many not only Hindus, but how many farmers do we have in Goa actually care about tilling the soil and generating revenue from farming? Because it's not feasible anymore. There's not enough money in it anymore. The politicians don't give a shit about the poor farmers. We're the breadbasket, right? Look at the fields, the fallow fields that are laying there. Nobody's tilling these fields because it doesn't make any sense anymore.
And
right?
we're going to talk about that because we have a discussion on when there was an opposition that came to the assembly, right? When the opposition MLAs came to the well of the house. So it's got something to do with that, with the farming policy. So we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But one thing good that came out of the CCP elections is, who Jack Sukija is, Merv?
I've heard the name, Sukija.
Yeah, Jack Sukija. So Jack Sukija, I'm very proud to say, is one of my neighbors.
Okay.
He stays in our colony.
Good guy?
And he is the grandson
of Jack Sequeira.
Yes.
I heard about this somewhere.
Yes. So
Dr. Jack Sequeira.
The Dr. Jack Sequeira. And life has come full circle because the originator of one of the freedom fighters who led to the opinion poll, his grandson now has won from Ward 17 in the CCP elections.
Wow.
And fantastic. And you know what? I think that's another thing that's quite controversial in the CCP elections. A lot of these candidates have won by the skin of the teeth by 1, 2 votes, 3 votes, which is kind of circumspect in my opinion. But anyways, Jack has won. And I you know what? It more than anything, more than the fact that I know him, it's very good to have educated people who understand, who have a vision, come into power. So all the
That's
very
how it
best.
should be, Ajay.
Yeah.
So all the very best, Jack. I know you have a good heart, and you have the best interests of Goa in mind. So all the best to you.
That's great. And the thing is, I also go back to when
Sorry, Joanne. Was that Valmiki in the picture?
Yes.
Go back to that.
Yes.
Valmiki's everywhere. Why the hell is he not the mayor of Panjim?
So Valmiki
He's a good guy, man.
Valmiki is from Panjim, of course, and I believe he, and although it was not politically confirmed, but the Aam Aadmi Party, of which Valmiki is the head right now, had backed Jack, who's an independent candidate on paper.
Good for him, though. He's won it on his merit, not on his grandpa's name, on anybody else's name. He's a good guy.
And the beauty is, I saw a video where Jack has not only accepted the victory, but he's thanked everybody who's helped him, and that shows the mark of a leader when you don't have these grand rallies, but you understand the effort that it took for you to
get
win.
where you are.
Yes,
and I respect that. And I always admire people that give thanks back. Yeah, what do you say?
All I was just going to say is just what I really liked when Shashank was on the show, and he said that his pamphlets, when he's campaigning, literally say, "This is my success on one side, and this is what I intend to do on the other side."
But just
and
a
I think
single
that
page.
transparency and that working for the good of the people, I think everybody needs to be able to say that and justify their own existence and ambition with
You would
that.
think it's a no. I don't want to stick onto this. I'm not going to keep on beating this thing, but I'm just saying to you, would think it's that simple, right? Politics can be so simple. If your history, what you've done should speak for itself. Stop promising things. Let's see what you've delivered. So if you've got a simple pamphlet with what you've done, he spends $35,000, got in trouble because he didn't spend enough money on a campaign. That's how it should be. By the way, I'm just going to. He's not paying me for saying this, but I was driving by Mopsa the other day, and he was out on the street the other day helping these guys move a bike so the boys could do their work in his ward.
Oh, yeah.
And I stopped the car on the other side of the road, ran across and said, "Are you allowed to do this?" And he was like, "Ah," and he realized it was me. And I said, we need people like you who are actually out there, Manohar Parikar type, who are actually out there. And he's not a saint. They're not saints. They're all human. But at the end of the day, he proves by his actions that he's actually there to do good for his constituency and the people that voted for him.
And I'll tell you one more thing before we move on, Merv, which I've noticed in the CCP elections. I saw a lot of people, educated people, complaining a lot about this and that and how things should be better here and there and we should do this. You know how many people didn't turn up to vote?
Oh, I hate that.
There's so many people from my colony that I've heard have not turned up for voting.
Ajoy.
And these are the biggest complainers.
But that's exactly, if you're not going to get off your ass and do it, stop complaining.
And they're scared.
Why?
Imagine people who are, have nothing to lose, who are well heeled. That should not be a criterion to vote, by the way. But at the same time, why are we so scared to exercise our right to choose for a better future?
They didn't go to in school. They weren't taught about their civic right. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the opinions of us, the Merv Britto Show, the participants on this show, and not the opinion of the show itself. We're talking about very contentious, and it's not to rabble-rouse. We're talking about the issues that might really strike a nerve in a lot of people. We'd love to hear from you. It is to make people aware more than anything else. We want to have a laugh, but we also want to educate in the process about things that are going on. It's not for any other reason. We're very passionate about this place we call home. It is. You know what? There's a figure thrown out there. The Goa. I don't know where we saw this, but the debt in Goa swelled to 35,000 crore.
Yeah.
Now, if that's not a red flag that something's wrong, Ajoy, you've got these administrators in the assembly doing ring around the Rosies. Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
That's embarrassing, dude. How can you have, after collecting all these taxes, and that's why I got back to that, where you're collecting taxes and the big boys are making all the money. These are just puppets, and we talked about puppet masters on a very high level. But these guys are making so much of money. How can you have a 35,000 crore deficit? Where's the transparency? Anybody talking about this?
Do you think? Do you know what it could be, Merv?
It's 35,723. It's on the screen. Yeah.
You can see how much it's jumped up. It was 16,823.
I was just going to mention
2016, 2017. So that's really leapt up. It's over double, isn't it now?
Yes, and I was just going to. You're absolutely right. Until very recently, the state debt was around 15,000 crores. So clearly, demand has gone up, and now we've doubled that. Does
that not scare anybody? Does nobody sit up and take notice? Do you not have administrators? Do you not have senior people that actually care? And it bothers me, and I feel so strongly, very strongly about this. And we keep complaining. You've got people that don't even bother voting, but you've got people that do take the trouble to vote. And it's a helpless feeling when you know and you can see things going a certain way, and they've been this way for a very long time.
Yeah.
And the people that you trust, that you vote for to put in power, are not going to change the faulty systems in place. With the change in time and the change in technology, they're going to keep on with this archaic system where people are skimming money. The money's not being used. Where is the transparency? Where are the auditors? Where is the people that are watching the watchers?
So I've just tried to pull some information from the internet, and this may not be accurate. It says that the Goa state debt includes 25 to 26,000 crore for internal debt. Now, what does that include? It includes things like state development loans taken from RBI. So they borrowed money from the RBI, borrowing from banks and financial institutions, loans from agencies such as NABARD. I don't know what that is. National Small Savings Fund. They borrowed a lot of money. And these have been used apparently for infrastructure, welfare schemes.
Stop. These are details you can get online, right?
Yes.
And we haven't verified, but whoever that guy that messaged, and you better give credit to the website you got it from. We're obviously we know there's a problem, and you're absolutely right. And I appreciate it. I love the fact that you're reading this out, but. What's sad is that there's a problem, and our politicians, the people that we vote for, that we trust to take care of us, to do the will of the people, public servants, are not changing these and letting it happen. Why can we not have the transparency, Joanne, to explain where has the money gone? You've collected X, you've spent it on Y, Z, whatever, right? Yeah. This is your balance sheet. This is whatever the new budget's going to come out, and it's going to be. Why can't you not have administrators or smart people that are in charge of these numbers to come out and declare this?
Well, I think actually there has been a little bit of detail around the numbers that have actually come out. So the government has said that it's actually curtailed its borrowing since the pandemic. So they said since COVID-19, they've actually reduced that borrowing. However, one of the headlines that I was reading, they were basically saying that the government spent a lot since 2022 on events, which is actually 677,000 crore or 677 crore
yes.
on events since 2022. So that's averaging 47 lakhs a day. And they said that 13 crore was spent on a 60-minute event that the Prime Minister attended. The Prime Minister attended, which amounted to 22 lakhs per minute.
Oh my God.
So I believe I was reading that in the Herald, if you want to know. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of deep dive that's gone into that. And I feel that in the Assembly, that's something that
does that not bother anybody?
Dig into further, of course.
Does it not bother people?
They're basically saying we want to be investing in local programs that's actually going to benefit the people. That's what the opposition are talking about.
If you're spending 22 lakhs a minute or an hour or whatever the stupid, crazy, outrageous number is, something's not right. Obviously, there are expenses, guys. You're going to have to spend the money. You collect taxes. You've got money that's set aside and budgeted for certain whatever. I understand it's not cut and dry. Not everybody's a crook and everybody's not trying to rip you off. The fact of the matter remains, I spoke about transparency. If you do something, if I skip out, or if I do something illegal for 10,000 rupees or a lakh, I'd get put in jail.
Yeah.
Why are we not able to make sure, verify? You've got budgets, you've got departments, you've got very smart, 10 to 100 times smarter than I am, people that are managing committees and departments that obviously have to verify and audit every rupee that's collected and spent.
Of course.
We've had people verify 100 ways to Sundays, everything that we do, right? Scrutinize, because there's money involved.
Yeah.
But I'm saying to you, Ajoy, how does this happen and continue to happen? And when do you see 35,000 crore? Which has doubled in a couple of years.
So in the last 9 years, it's gone up to 18 and a half.
Let's put it in perspective.
Yeah.
Basically, it means that for every Goan has a debt on their heads of 2 lakhs each. 2.06 lakhs each, according to what I've read.
Yeah.
So, you know what? That's crazy. That's crazy. How are we getting here? It should be an endeavor of every government to be, what was that, surplus? Is that the term?
Yeah.
You have a budget. You have a budget deficit or surplus. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
So why is that not happening? Why should the big question should be
why
asked?
Don't I have any hair? Why am I still bald? I'm good looking. But why am I still? It's a silly question. It's a rhetorical question. Why can we not? If money's properly managed, you've got you've got a couple of great examples out there, by the way. I'm not saying we're not dogging Goa or India and all this for any reason. We're passionate. We love this place. And this is our little way of being able to give back. We've got this platform that we use, the Merv Britto Show, and we can talk about these things. But you're absolutely right. Something that embarrassed me when I saw it, it was a video that came out the other day. Joanne, have you seen the opposition leaders in the parliament?
Yeah.
Doing ring around the Rosie, guys.
Yes, I'm not sure about that.
I don't get it. You guys are elected. You guys are smart, educated leaders, people that are looking up to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hopping around in protest rather than debate, rather than actually have discussion and debate to figure out whether something's right, wrong, whatever. There are fundamental flaws in our rules of engagement, rules of our government. If you can't talk about, I think the assembly is like a very short period of time. We spoke about that, right?
Yeah,
but I don't get
limited.
why these things don't change. And you have people watching the watcher and asking the questions like everywhere else in the world. Don't reinvent the wheel. But that's embarrassing if you talk about the Goa Legislative Assembly. There it is on your screens. What's this all about?
So apparently, it's connected to the fact that the opposition MLAs, which you're seeing here, they had come up with a number of bills that they wanted to be discussed. They call it private member bills, right? Mm-hmm. Which they wanted to be discussed. And apparently the speaker, which is basically the government man, right, of the day, who disallowed it, citing rules and what have you. So for that reason, they have protested in this way. So are they right? Are they wrong? I don't know.
I mean, I have to say, because it's so limited, we were talking about it in January, weren't we? And we were laughing about the schedule in terms of when they're breaking for tea break, when they're breaking for lunch and all of that. And I think somebody had contacted us to say they're actually working until 11:30 at night and stuff like that. Obviously, I really have to say I wouldn't expect anything less. But I think you have to give people a fair chance to be able to speak up, because otherwise you're always going to get people protesting and crying foul. If you're not going to actually allow people to bring these bills to the fore or bring something to people's public notice, then you're going to get these silly stunts, and that really doesn't achieve anything either.
But this is embarrassing. I'd be embarrassed as a politician. And these are good, educated, well-educated, accomplished people. These are not some clowns.
Yes.
These guys are very, very... Listen, you're an example. You're a leader. Yeah. And you need to lead by example. Show people why you're where you are today, right?
Yeah.
So if something's wrong, you debate it, you talk about it, right? Mm-hmm. You can't have a political system where the Speaker of the House, who carries a lot of weight, is being governed, who's going to be manipulated, is going to be made to do what some strong, what's it called? He's got... some strong person who's got a lot of power can manipulate you and make you do, right?
Yeah, it's basically if you've been given some guidelines to work within or something like that.
So I'll give you 100 points, Ajo. You can remember who the guy was that's supposed to be an independent person watching the watcher. Lokayukta. 100 points to me.
But you know what? His purview doesn't come over parliamentary affairs. The bills that these guys wanted to discuss were the protection of agricultural land bill, the protesting, they were the protection of rivers and the environment. That was another bill. And the big daddy in the room was the big elephant in the room was scrapping or reviewing Section 39A of the TCP Act. Do you know what that is, right, Merv?
Land conversions, Ajo. We've talked about it 100 times.
And I don't know. Apparently, this was denied because it didn't follow due procedure. But one would think that after such a big protest in front of the TCP minister's house, wherein apparently there was an assurance from the CM to discuss this in Parliament, that should be a top priority, wouldn't it be?
Definitely. And you should make special provision for that also.
Right.
Especially if it's all in the public interest, because that's, you're there to serve the public, you're there to serve the people. And so you actually have to be able to justify your existence in the Assembly and also prove how you're fighting for the people.
Can I just say, this political system works all over the world. And we've been beating a dead horse. We've spoken about this so many times on so many of our shows about the fact that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You need smart people that are going to implement rules and laws and use the change in time and technology to fix problems, ailing issues that have happened for many, many years right here in this country, in the state, locally, on a panchayat, on your councillor level, whatever. we go through this, and it's the height of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expect a different outcome. But it made me sad because you've got so many smart people being looked up to as leaders who have been voted into power that should be taking care of us, and they're not doing. Listen, let's move on. Yeah, we got
one second more. I just want to make sure that we at least get the speakers or the government's point of view on this, which is this: under parliamentary rules, the speaker decides the admissibility of private member bills, and the bills must pass procedural checks by the legislature secretariat and must follow the House's schedule. So these are the rules that they've cited for.
Ajoy, you didn't start politics yesterday. You've got so many people in politics, and within the politics, within the party, you've got these smart people that are actually having to file these and get all these lined up so that they can be debated. But you have to follow the rules, right? Correct. If a politician can't follow the rules and it's illegal, what do? Ring around the Rosie? I'm in protest. I'm going to say in Serbia, I was watching in some country in Europe, they were throwing smoke bombs and what are they called? Flares and all. That's not how you behave as a leader. Follow the rules and lead by example. Enough. No more. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Just lead by example. Be transparent. You've got nothing to hide, Ajoy. Am I saying something wrong?
No, you're not.
It's scary. It's sad that these people can't just do your jobs. Be proud of what you do. I did that with the help of my constituency, with the constituents, with the people that voted me. I am being held on a pedestal because this is what I've done for you guys. I should be proud.
Merv, are you referring to this?
Yeah, dude, check this out. Check this out.
Merv, you're giving our guys.
These guys make our guys look like saints. How stupid! This is I'm at a loss of words. Can you believe these are leaders in a country?
You may have given our guys some ideas, my friend. You are to be blamed for this if this happens in our.
Look at this, dude. These are leaders in a country. Where is this, by the way? I didn't know. I saw the Slovakia, Slovenia,
Serbia. You're absolutely right. Serbia.
Belgrade. There you go. But that's not how you behave, Ajoy. I'm glad you brought it up. Let's move on, yeah? Another issue that is the tourist industry. Here in Goa, that's another big industry, and I've always been annoyed about the fact that our educated ministers can't be in charge and focus and excel at one portfolio at a time. There are so many conflicts of interest when you have a minister that's in charge of 2 and 3 portfolios, and shouldn't be the case. The most qualified, the best person for the job should be made to take care of that portfolio. I'm talking about tourism, right?
Yeah.
You've got the taxi issue. You've got the LPG gas issue. You've got the tourism industry. You've got so many problems that are happening here. Was it debated in the taxi thing debated in the assembly?
It was, yeah.
And?
Or it was meant to, and it never happened. So there was no conclusion. So the can gets kicked on the road, I guess.
Well, I think they're trying to introduce some digital legislation or something, and they're saying
what for?
Regarding the taxis, because whatever was introduced before has been rejected. So I think the chief minister said, well, as soon as we introduce this digital ruling, then there's nothing more can be done. This has just been rejected by the industry. I think only about 200 of the taxi drivers, 200, just a couple of hundred, had actually agreed to the regulations or something.
That's one of the strongest lobbies in Goa, by the way, the taxi industry, the taxi lobby. You're letting this go to hell in a handbasket. This is a beautiful tourist destination. We do the show because we're so proud and we love this place so much. This was supposed to be discussed, and the politicians don't even know their jobs enough to make sure this is part of the schedule. And this wasn't discussed, but the taxi lobby is so strong. Guys, I love my local taxi drivers. I don't have a problem, but follow the rules. Do what you're supposed to be. Implement meters so that somebody who's not from here can take a proper taxi ride like you do anywhere else in the country.
Yeah.
Whether it's Ola, Uber, Goa Miles. Just follow the rules. Make your money the honest way like everybody else does. Why should you have any specific? You can have the privileges of being a local. You should get privileges as a local taxi person to operate and ply your trade. But then you have to follow the rules for the people that don't know how it works. Like anywhere else in the world, you get into a taxi and you start a meter, or you order it online. You can be part of Olo. But this is another flaw, and it's killed the tourist industry, and people don't like taking taxis here because they're getting ripped off.
You know, Merv,
but it can't be discussed, and it hasn't been discussed. Yeah, go on.
I've been doing some reading up on what could be the possible reasons for the taxi associations in Goa opposing a digital app.
Because they can't screw anybody.
So
Hey, flat out, simple. Shoot me, kill me, tell me what you
Hey,
want. It's
don't be so silly.
No, but I'm saying everybody knows it's the elephant in the room. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Why don't you want to change for the better?
So some of the reasons could be that apparently currently many taxi operators operate at fixed negotiated prices, which will go away, which they don't want. Another thing is they don't want competition from outside operators, which would involve allowing non-local drivers to pick up tourists.
Again, I'm telling you, don't, Ajo, you're speaking my case.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I love the fact that I can come to the airport and I can prepay a taxi.
Yep.
You can't rip me off. Right?
Yeah.
But that's implemented by the companies that are operating at the airport, right? Why can't I get into any taxi or order a taxi online? Do not let it go to outside Goans. You have to be Goan to operate in Goa, number one. You have to be, I'll say it again, you have to be a Goan, speak Konkani to operate a taxi in Goa.
That's a good idea.
Okay?
Yep.
So if you don't speak Konkani, you can't get a license. You cannot drive a taxi. If you're not going to implement Ola, Uber, whatever the applications are, or have a meter that works. To have a taxi license, you've got to have a meter that works, and that has to be tested and renewed every year. First of all, you have to speak Konkani. You've got to have an operational meter. You can ply your taxi.
And you have to be nice to your tourists as well.
No, you get a rating system. You get a rating and a review system that works everywhere else. I provide internet. If I'm doing a shit job, people will put in a bad rating. Nobody will buy my services. If I go to a restaurant and they're not giving you good service or good food, you can put a bad rating. But I'm just saying to you, it's not rocket science, guys. This is very simply implemented.
Yeah.
It's not something that's so complicated. It works everywhere around the world. But why can't my leaders implement these rules in a proper form, in a proper way, and take care of the people that vote them into power?
Merv, if I were to ask you a question.
Ask me.
Okay, you being in Goa for so many years, and so am I.
Being in Goa, going card mare.
Oh, yeah. Okay. My company sir.
Salam habibi.
Salam.
Sang mare. Oh, they get copy. Sang mare.
You're putting him on the spot, mate.
I love this guy. He's one of the hardest working. Joanne loves him now. Now he's changed his ways.
Now.
Then he's doing, Now all of a sudden she wanted to kill him.
Back to my question.
Oh, sorry, go on.
So my question is, how many taxis does Goa need to be on the roads to fulfill all our tourism needs?
I have no idea, mate.
Then that's the point I'm trying to make. Nobody has any goddamn idea,
But
right?
who's in charge of the taxi industry?
Let me tell you that basically 3,802 taxi drivers.
You looked it up, you little cheater.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just telling you, it's nearly 4,000 taxi drivers had opposed this legislation, and 290 had voted for it. So essentially, the chief minister has said, as soon as that new digital taxi policy is introduced, then that is it. Nobody's got anything else that they can oppose. That's it, the ruling.
Can I tell you, I'd solve the problem in a week.
How would you do it?
I just told you. I sound like Donald Trump, don't I? I'll solve the problem in a week. Listen, ladies, what did Donald Trump say about Assalamu alaikum? Donald T. Did you see that? Anyway, whatever. Listen, I'm making light. I'm having this thing. But you've got to be going. You got to speak Konkani to operate a taxi. You got to speak the local language. You get a license. You got to have a meter that works. That is checked, just like every beach shack and every hotel for food, health and safety, fire regulation, compliances, blah blah blah. If you want to be a taxi operator in Goa, you've got to have a limited amount of licenses. You pass the test, you get a license. You have to renew that license every year, like is being done everywhere else in the world. Don't reinvent the wheel. Limit it.
You know what? But there's
and you get caught and you don't display your license, or you don't have a uniform on, you get fined heavily. You lose your license. But these have to be implemented. Should I tell you about Theriac, my favorite word?
Oh.
No? Okay, I won't.
Also have Goan plates.
What is stupid? What do you want? Russian plates?
Number plate.
No, number plates I'm saying.
Baba, that is part of the application process. Your गाडी, I was going to say गाडी. तुमचे गाडी मरे license plate check करचे पडता. कोंकणी उलोवचे पडता. तुमचे मीटर सारखे चोलूंक जाय हाल्ले. आणि कितें?
But we can change the plates also, no?
Yeah, but you have to go through the legal procedure, no?
But that's part of plying the trade. If I want to be a taxi operator, I've got to follow these rules.
No.
If I want to be an ISP, I've got to follow these rules.
But Goans are not following the rules, Baba. They're not even doing the proper way of getting proper taxis. Number of illegal taxis.
Find them.
Who's finding them? Did you see any checking to find anybody today? No, and that's
Well,
not
today for
happening,
what?
mate. How many
Why
illegal...
the fuck are the police out there giving fines for traffic violations?
Where are they?
You don't get. I see them all the time.
I've seen them only at night in Saligaon.
No. These are money. No, that's not true. Huh? I see them all the time. Do your jobs. You're implementing rules and regulations of the road, helmets, seatbelts, whatever. Great. Implementation has to happen.
Yeah.
Same for the taxis. You can have random checkpoints. This is an annualized thing. Your car has to be legal, like your PUC and all this stuff. You have to speak Konkani. Your car has to be legal, roadworthy. Your meter has to be functional with a sealed stamp like they do in the old days. Mate, I'm speaking common sense. I'm not trying to complicate it. I love my local industries. We take care of Goans and take care of Goans first. So
But
it's
first,
not. Sorry.
but first, at least check how many taxis are required to fulfill
Who's the taxi minister?
local
Who's
as
the
well as
transport minister?
tourism needs. My friend.
Gadkari.
We
Is
don't even
Gadkari
know-
in charge of this?
No. Our
So
tourism-
who's your taxi minister? Who's the guy in charge
The
of taxis?
transport minister.
No, it's not. Nitin Gadkari is the taxi.
Rowan County, I think, right?
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
He should be embarrassed.
Transport is
No, don't keep blaming Rohan County for everything, Ray. Rohan County is he's a tourism.
The transport minister.
Rohan County is not responsible.
No, I said Mervyn
So-
Godinho.
Rowan, the,
We're talking.
Look it up. Look it up.
the tourism minister is Rowan County.
Correct. Who's in charge of the taxi lobby
The
or the taxi?
transport minister.
Oh,
is
what's his name? Look it up.
That's what we've just said.
Mervyn.
Mervyn Godinho.
So it's Godino. My name is Mervyn. His name is Movin.
Movin.
What Mickey calls me, Mickey the Movin. Sorry,
Yes,
I'm
Movin
making
Godino.
light.
Yeah.
He should be embarrassed. Marvin Godino, you should be standing up like a strong politician, like somebody who's actually authoritarian in power, and say, listen, let's make these rules, make them fair, make them legal, and fix the problem. What is the use of having you as a minister? You want to take bribes from people that want a license? I shouldn't be saying that.
So, Mervyn-
that's not what he does. I
Mervyn-
shouldn't say that. Sorry.
Mervyn, listen.
Mr. Godino, I apologize. That's not what I meant. The point I'm trying to make is, guys, you've got a beautiful place that people come to visit. And if the public transportation system is pretty crap, they want to take a taxi. Let people feel safe about taking a taxi. But the taxi minister, or whoever is in charge of transportation, should be stepping in and saying, these are the rules that have to be followed. I don't give a shit how much you threaten me. I'm going to do my job.
Yeah.
And do your job and resolve these problems. Yes?
Yes.
LPG gas, next. Talk to me. Sorry,
all
Joe.
I was just going to say was, because essentially he said that they had some consultation, and he said that some people were trying to cause a little bit of confusion, but they were working with some taxi representative and some assistant directors to work out a solution within an 8-day period or something.
How many years have you tried to be working out a solution? Have you come up with a solution,
what
mate?
they're saying is, that some people, their reluctance is because they don't want to show their accountability.
There you go, transparency.
But what they're claiming is that with the introduction of Goa Miles, it had improved tax compliance. So among the taxi operators, so they're talking about
God.
GST payments. He said it's increased in the sector from 39.9 lakh in 2018 and 19 to 4.5 crore in 25-26. So there's a total turnover of about 28 to 39 crore, 28.39 crore.
Joanne,
So
I don't
obviously it's
want
all
you to
about
mumbling
money.
all this crap. I couldn't care
It's
less.
not about money.
It is about money. And when a number like 35,000 crore deficit comes up, that should wake people up. Can I ask you a very simple question?
Yeah.
You want to resolve and solve these problems, be transparent. I don't care what you say. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to print these on my T-shirts. Theriac. Transparency, happiness,
We're
enforcement.
giving you proper facts here.
I know, Joanne, but you guys keep on saying the same things. And it's so simple. Why are you not fixing these fundamental problems that are causing this place to go down? You've lost your tourist industry, right? Because you don't have proper public transport. You've got everybody else having to follow rules to be able to apply their trades. And the rules are being implemented sometimes and not being implemented sometimes. You have to pay taxes sometimes, and you can do your black money and all the other crap that you do and hide money. You've got smart people there that are not being allowed to do their jobs. You've got politicians in power that are not implementing the rules, that are not there for the right reasons. What is the use of putting these people in power to take care of us?
Merv,
if it's not changing the system.
if you have the time, I punched in the numbers into ChatGPT and it's given me an answer as to how.
Yeah. What do you punch into? What is the
with
numbers?
regards to how many taxis are required and blah 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 blah.
Oh, I don't want to know.
No?
Tell me.
I don't want to know.
Tell me. Don't tell me.
I don't want to know.
I'll try and go through this quickly, Merv. Just bear with me. It says the population of Goa is about 15 to 16 lakh people, right? Tourist arrivals about 1 crore per year. Existing tourist taxis on paper 12,000, right? So assuming that the local populace does 10 trips per day, that means you would require 4,500 taxis, for those needs. That's what it's saying. And basically it's saying that we have enough taxis on, apparently off paper, we have about 20,000 taxis in Goa. So we have enough of taxis
But
to
still never
fulfill
want what you
needs
need
of
it.
both the tourists and the local populace. That would mean that we don't even need to own a car if this was properly managed. Over to you, my friend.
I'm so fed up. I'm down now. You guys made me down. Listen, guys, it's so simple to fix these problems. And we're laughing and joking, ladies and gentlemen. We laugh and joke about these things, but I genuinely believe if you wanted to fix a problem, you could get to after all of these years. And you've seen this place going to hell. You've overdeveloped the place. You don't have people encouraging tourists. Tourists are leaving this. They drive their own cars and come to Goa on vacation. It was the tourists that flew into Goa that needed the taxi, the public transportation, which is zero, that would have potentially used taxis if they weren't getting ripped off. But you've got ChatGPT. I've said this 100 times. You've got so many technologies out there that you can use for the benefit to resolve problems, to make a system, a broken, faltering system held together with Band-Aids, to fix these, implement these rules, and do your jobs, but be transparent. Ask, seek the help. Get the people, the experts in their fields to help you to resolve these problems properly and permanently. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to preach to the choir. I'm not trying to make everything sound very simple. I'm just saying these things can be, in all the time we've been talking about them, for the number of years, they should have been resolved by now. True. And they're not. Theriac. I say Theriac. Transparency, happiness, enforcement. Don't roll your eyes.
I wish you could remember it though without looking.
I got to read it, dude. We need the acronym THERIAC printed everywhere. I'm going to make stickers of this. Transparency, happiness, enforcement, responsibility, implementation, accountability, and common sense. THERIAC is an acronym that I found that it's a potion something the effects of a poison. What is it? To negate the effects of a poison.
Yeah, an antidote.
An antidote. Theriac. Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned into the Merv Britto Show. We do the show every week live. If you want to get in touch with us, you're more than welcome to get in touch with us on any platform where you get your social media. Hit us up, leave us a message, like, share, and please support our channel and subscribe. Tell people about us. The website's themervbrittoshow.com. Look us up on social media, the Merv Britto Show, anywhere. We'd love to hear from you. You can call us. You can contact us. It's on the screen. No, that's my big fat head. 750-724-6246 is the number to get in touch with us. You can WhatsApp us. We'll call you. Or if you don't want to be live on the air, send us a message and we'll read it out. Kirsten Riberio Sa. Yeah, sorry.
Merv, I got a question for you.
Bola, Baba.
This Theriac, does it go well with Urak?
Yes.
Another poison.
I give
Mr. Riberio Sa. Sang, uloy.
Yes, I give it to my patients.
You give it to who?
Patients.
Are you a doctor?
Yes.
What kind of doctor?
I can't say it on live.
Love doctor.
Is he the love doctor? Carson, I got to ask you, dude. Are we going to do some comments today or not?
Yes. About 15 of
Yalla, baby.
Come on, man.
In comments.
Okay, now we'll save him to the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been doing the show for an hour. Do you know that time flies when you're having fun? What do we want to get into next, Mr. Britto? Joanne Britto, you tell me. Can we talk about this LPG gas because of the war in Iran? Call it a war, mate.
It is.
Are we got people being, it's so sad because people are being scared into having to stand in line to get LPG gas. Qatar is one of, Kuwait, one of these countries is one of the biggest suppliers of LPG, and because of the war, there's going to be a shortage. The government...
You're talking about gas cylinders, basically. Not everybody knows what LPG is.
Liquid... Oh my God,
But
Joanne.
not everybody knows.
Not gasoline, not petrol.
Yeah, but people who don't live in India and in Goa anymore, they don't necessarily know that it's talking about gas.
Liquid petroleum. Okay, so the fact of the matter remains, people and shops and restaurants are having to cut back on their commercial gas usage because there's a shortage, right?
Yeah.
That's going to affect a lot of industries. The Goa hospitality industry, people that cater to the tourists, hotels, shacks, restaurants. Dude, what's going to happen?
So there was speculation that it was going to run out by this weekend, and I think that caused a bit of a run. So people were queuing up to try and get their gas bottles refilled, or be able to purchase gas cylinders. But I think also a lot of outlets are also having to rethink their menus as well. Because obviously if you're going to have to be just cutting back on what you're cooking on gas, people are going to have to really kind of budget.
What are the beach shacks and restaurants going to do? Because you're not going to get enough supply. Omkar, one of the guests we've had here, Mr. Omkar, has made a funny reel about it, but he's absolutely right. Listen, you've got a problem with gas, the supply of gas, cooking gas, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to create a big issue because in the next few days, or the war's not going to end in the next few days, but in the next few days, you're going to have less and less supply.
Yeah.
There's so much demand, and it's only going to be catering to, as what I understand, is going to cater towards people at home, living at home that need to cook. That's going to have huge repercussions on the commercial industry, no?
Yeah.
What's that? Situation is dire. The war in Iran squeezes India's cooking gas supply. I'm sure we've got massive reserves and people don't need to panic, but you're going to have to be smart. What happened to chulas, good old-fashioned wood chulas?
Ari Baba, we become more modern now.
There's nobody knows a curry that tastes better that's cooked on a wooden stove. A good prawn curry cooked in a chatty on a wooden stove that tastes as good as the way it's cooked in the old days rather than gas.
So Merv, you have a lot of friends in the restaurant business here in Goa, right?
I do indeed.
And what are they saying about LPG shortage for commercial gas?
I was talking to the birthday boy the other day when we were playing, and he was saying that it affects a lot of his business in a franchise that he owns. They're going to have to cut back because commercial supply of gas, liquid gas, your gas cylinders for cooking. Even people like hospitality and these fishing trips halted as LPG shortage hits trawlers.
Yeah.
It's got
restaurants, beach shacks. He's got a chain of restaurants, and he's saying it's really going to be tough. They're cutting back on the supply for commercial purpose.
Yes, because it's obviously it's very serious, and again, it's kind of saying it's reminiscent of COVID times as well.
What COVID did for in the environment, it made people understand that not everything can be bought from a supermarket. This gas problem is going to have people cooking on chulas once again. And recycling. What is that? Why are you showing me food?
How?
You know I'm hungry. I'm hungry, Ajoy.
It says how Iran war affects your butter chicken, but not your chicken tikka.
Because it takes a lot more gas to make a curry than it does to...
Yeah.
I'm not just
smart.
Get it off the screen because I'm hungry. I don't want to see that because my mouth's watering. I won't be able to speak properly.
And it's chicken.
Huh?
More chicken.
No. You are a chicken, you chicken licking. It's okay. So these are problems affecting as long as DJT, Mr. Donald John Trump, continues a stupid war with Iran. You're going to have problems. Let's move on. I don't want to beat this.
Because 62% of the supply is imported in, and it comes through the Strait of Hormuz.
That is petroleum products.
Yeah.
But no, gas supply.
This is the LPG that India.
Yeah. Understood. I agree with you, sweetie. I know the 20% of the world's. And listen, you want to get into details. You've got tariff, and you've got this thing's again Russia. So he's got embargoes.
The Russian oil is coming back into
there
play.
you go, and it's going to affect us. We're going to get into it. Look at these poor people standing.
This is in Goa, by the way. This is when the issue of gas supply running out, people got worried. You can see, and you know what is one of the most difficult things to get today? Apparently,
what?
A convection.
A good cooked Goan meal, prawn curry.
No.
Okay, I'm hungry. Dude.
A convection. What do you call stove?
It's hard to get. Induction cooker.
Yes, apparently it's not available.
Yeah, because everybody's worried about gas. You want to do induction cooking. It's going to be a problem. It's going to get worse before it gets any better. As long as this war continues, a lot of petroleum products from around the world, they're not worried about it in Europe and stuff. They've got their own supply. But we, who are have a huge dependency on the supply of petroleum products, are going to struggle in India.
This is more of a hand-to-mouth existence with your energy. In the UK and the rest of Europe, you get your gas piped to your home. You've obviously got your electricity, like, you switch it on at home like you would your electricity, whereas here, you actually have to physically get the gas bottles.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, in Northern Ireland,
it's archaic.
That. But
it's archaic, but it works, and sadly, people are struggling. It is. I genuinely believe we've got huge reserves of gas. I don't think it's that big a problem. People love to go and create. Oh my God, we're running out of petrol. Everybody run to the petrol pump. We're going to have no gas. Everybody goes and stands in line. The Goan mentality. It's pretty sad, but I don't think it's. Listen, let's talk about the environment. This might be actually good for the environment, because people would start having to go back to the good old days of having to cook with wood. Is that good for the environment?
There's definitely
really.
not. No.
What's wrong
Biogas.
with you?
No?
Oh my.
Biogas.
And you might get a fine of 5,000.
Of what? For what?
If you burn something in your backyard and all, the panchayat can fine you $5,000.
Okay, Merv, I'm doing
He
some
sounds
research.
like a flipping robot. What are you saying? I can't clean my yard. I can't rake my leaves and burn the goddamn waste.
So if
No, you
somebody
shouldn't.
complains to the panchayat and they come to inspect and they find a fire, they can fine you $5,000.
Yeah,
And you
that's
tell
not-
those clowns that came to inspect, I don't have any gas. I can't cook on a stove. I've got to cook my meal on a fire that I create myself. No, Willie?
Well,
Merv.
Baba.
So apparently, annual LPG consumption in India, as of financial year 2024-25, was 31.3 million tons.
You guys love looking
Okay.
this shit up, don't you?
Domestic production is 12 to 13 million tons only, and India imports 18 to 20 million tons. So majority of that comes from through the Strait of Hormuz,
Yeah.
I presume.
Thank the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, for creating this problem that we don't really need. Another problem.
So we have a national supply buffer of 22 to 30 days only.
Yeah, that's
a
not
month.
enough. That's no left. There's a stockpile of
Yeah,
about
but I'm
25
saying 20 to
days,
30 days. How long is this war going to last, mate?
Yeah, Merv, you just don't know.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm already depressed. And when I get depressed, I get hungry.
Merv, did you have your special breakfast from your wife today?
She's the breakfast
Or is
queen.
she using the LPG situation?
She nukes everything that she feeds me, doesn't she?
I didn't even.
You made eggs. She made the loveliest. Let me tell you, do not bag on my wife. She made the love. I got to keep in her good books, dude. It was very good. I try F off, mate. Don't. Listen, it was really, sweetie.
He had toasted Marmite and then he had 2 egg sandwiches.
Happy Mother's Day. I love you, my darling.
Mother's Day, Women's Day, whatever day, I'm always the one making the breakfast.
Let's move along. We're going to talk about something that's very near and dear to Kirsten.
Chicken
We're talking
biryani.
about. No, shut up. You want to talk about the next? So what's next? What are we talking about?
Well, I thought we were going to talk about the beaches, actually.
The beaches and the
alarming
cleanliness.
scenario.
The tourist industry here in India, we talked about taxis. Let's talk about the beaches and rivers. Alarming fecal coliform levels across beaches and rivers. What the hell is coliform? I know what fecal matter is.
One guess, Merv.
Is it
One
the
guess.
doo-doo? Is it all part of the fecal matter?
The
golden
huge-
stuff, the golden stuff.
The gold, oh God. Yuck.
Oh, you're a piggy. No, but are you? This is not something new, is it? We're pumping
it's
all this
not.
stuff into the ocean anyway.
Yeah, but it's not new. But apparently, a lot of this, and there was a recent study, and a lot of it, people are putting this down to the casinos because they're saying that there's so much untreated sewage that's just getting churned out into the river, and obviously it comes out of the river and it can go north and it can go south, and it's affecting all of the beaches. So they're essentially saying that the I think out of about 19 beaches or something, they're just totally not up to standard out of 30 beaches in the state.
Can I tell you something, Joanne? Until you have an industry, the health industry, that actually cracks down and actually does their jobs, like I've spoken about the port tourist police that are out there to monitor all of the illegalities happening on the river.
Yeah.
Excuse me. These guys don't even have a proper budget for petrol and diesel to be able to do their jobs. The health industry should be monitoring water quality levels in rivers, in creeks, in the ocean, and everywhere else.
But
if they're not doing their jobs and finding the people that are polluting these waters, it's going to keep happening. Coliform, by the way, I've just looked it up, is a bacteria. It's a rod-shaped bacteria, whatever. Everybody knows about fecal matter, doo-doo, and it's ending up more and more. But if you don't have proper sewage treatment facilities in the state, where does this stuff get recycled? Where does all your raw sewage get recycled? And it's not a quiz. It's not a flippant. I'm not trying to trick you. We're just talking about this in general. If you don't have proper treatment facilities that are operational, that are maintained, garbage facilities to be able to recycle garbage waste, and all these things, you know that we're lacking, right? You've got a budget of 35,000 crore. You don't have the treatment facilities. Where do you think that wastewater is going to go? And it's not gray water, it's actual raw sewage. Where do you think is going to go?
So, Merv, a couple of things. One, to Joanne's point that people are blaming the casinos. Sure.
It's not the casinos
only,
dude.
that's
it's
the
not
problem.
just,
One second,
people
guys.
aren't
One
saying
second.
that.
The point is, this is the problem with us Goans. We know for a fact, I in fact said some episodes ago that in the 80s, I heard stories of sewage being let out next to Fort Aguada from some of the big hotels there. Why is it a phenomenon now and not then? That is one. So this is the problem. We don't want to take responsibility for our actions.
They don't want to fix the
we
problem.
We want to blame you. I'm sure the casinos are contributing, but we all are. So what is the solution to that, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's one. Number two, I know for a fact in Donapalo, there's a sewage treatment plant pump, which has been encroached upon, and the authorities are not doing anything about it. How can we deal with these issues if you have to fight fires such as encroachment on the PWD pump of all places? So this is how rotten the system has become.
Yeah, Joe, but we keep talking about it, man. When does it change?
And you know what the thing is, this is your bread and butter for Goa, or should be. The tourism has supported the state and is unregulated in terms of the number of jobs it provides to the local populace. And we don't care.
Can I ask you?
This is your USP right here. The cleanliness of your beaches should be the USP of any a beach coastal tourism state. In my opinion.
Can I ask you a very simple question? We talked about the taxi industry and all the problems wrong here with this beautiful state of ours, Goa, and the goose that laid the golden egg, which is the tourism industry. What do you think is going to happen when word gets out about this fecal matter in the beaches and rivers? You think people want to come and swim in it?
Of course not.
So but you're not doing anything. We talk, when we continue, we sound like absolute Debbie Downers, dude. We're talking about the problems that are happening all the time. But the reason we're talking about them because they're not being fixed. And we continue to elect our officials that are supposed to be in power to resolve these problems that are playing ring around the Rosie in Parliament. So I'm making a joke about it, but the fact of the matter remains, somebody needs to sit up and take notice about these problems that have happened. They're not new problems.
Yes.
These are problems that have happened for a long time.
And they happen around the world, by the way.
I was just about to say that because
No, bullshit.
No,
they do.
A lot of these problems do not happen around the world.
Check this out. Bacteria spike prompts LA County warning against swimming, surfing at beaches.
I understand. But let's not make it a blanketed statement. All I'm saying to you is Willie just mentioned, if you light a fire in your backyard and somebody complains, the panchayat can come and fine you. If somebody builds a house and a Gironi's not, you know what Gironi? Where it was sewage, recycling. It goes into the flipping back into the earth. You know how to build a Gironi? Gironi. Okay. To build a Gironi. When you have raw sewage, it goes into it gets filtered and goes into the water table, right? But you shouldn't be having them so close to natural wells and systems where people's wells where they used to get clean water from, right?
Yeah.
So all of these silly little things, they're not silly little, all of these things that have to be monitored, maintained. People have to watch and find and make sure these rules are being followed, implemented and followed according to the rules, are not being followed. So we're talking about these because they continue to happen. The pollution of the water table is happening. You can't take a tanker truck that sucks up sewage and go and let it out into a field, can you?
No, of course not.
So these things need to be monitored and maintained, and people need to be fined and collect that money and use it to continue on implementing and enforcing the laws.
Yeah, but it's also it's actually what is the plan to be able to make sure that this matter is actually going to be treated, so you're not getting raw sewage. Because I know for a fact there's a new film out in the UK that's been recently released because these two local guys had taken on the privatised water companies, and one poor young girl had died off a beach on the south coast of England because she was playing in the sea just where some raw sewage had come out, and she got E. coli and she died.
But Joanne,
And
that's
these
one
kind
little
of
girl,
things-
right?
Yes,
And
but
everybody
this-
takes notice, right?
Yeah, but these things are happening, like we're saying, they do happen around the world, but there's got to be a plan to be able to fix them.
No shit,
What
Sherlock,
is
that's what we're talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. What is the plan in Goa to be able to treat that? Obviously, you're getting these reports, and obviously they're sensationalized, and people sit up and take notice. However, what is the plan to fix it? That's what everyone would like to know.
So what do you think we're talking about these issues for specifically? One poor little girl died in the UK, and it got everybody's attention. People are swimming in the ocean all the time.
Of course.
Do you know there's a deficit for Goa's health sector of staff, proper staffing?
I
So
do.
how do you expect to fix a problem? We're talking about health, by the way. We're talking about sewage, raw sewage being pumped out, fecal matter that is deadly, dude. E. coli and all these different diseases. If you're not monitoring and enforcing and finding the crap out of people that are breaking the rules, you really think these people are going to stop?
But Mervyn,
will the
it's-
system stop?
it's
Will the
about
system
having proper
change?
facilities
No, is the system
everywhere,
going to
though.
change? Yeah, but why is it not being fixed?
Because this is not just human waste, this is also animal waste as well.
Animal waste I don't give a shit
But
about
Mervyn,
animal
this
waste.
is going into the rivers. This is also going
Animals
into the
can do
local
what they want.
rivers.
We're human. We're building houses and hotels and
But there's not even proper toilet facilities in a lot of places. How is it getting?
That's not the
looked
kind of
after?
animal waste that Joanne is referring to. We're talking about the animal waste that probably we eat of.
What are you talking about? I don't know. You guys are confusing me. I don't know what is wrong with you guys. We're talking about raw sewage in the oceans and rivers, and you talk about animal waste.
Yes, because Mervyn, it's basically they're saying during monsoon season it becomes worse because all of this.
Sweetie, how do you monitor and regulate animal waste?
See,
Feces.
Yeah,
How?
that's going.
You stop dogs from shitting on the street.
it's not just.
Let's stick with
Not
what we're
just
talking about, right?
that.
I'm
This
talking about
is going
slaughter.
into-
You know, the after you slaughter something, what
Oh
happens
my
to the waste?
God, our joy. We're talking about
Yes, Merv,
about
That's
all
recycling
related.
human fecal matter that comes from your toilets.
Yes, that and animal waste.
Oh, then what are you talking? Let's get into garbage. Should we get into garbage? You want to
It's
get
all
into
related.
garbage?
It's all related,
Hey,
mate.
it's not related. Let's stick to one topic that we're talking about, which is the pollution of our rivers and oceans with raw human feces. We're not talking about anything else.
So this
I'm done.
This is fecal coliform tends to rise in waterways when human and animal waste enters waterways when there are no septic systems in place or those that have failed.
Yeah.
And the sewage overflows during monsoon period
Yes.
because there's even heavier rains.
Is this the first
and
time
it
it's happened?
distributes it. No.
Is it so? Then let's talk about fixing the problem. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
So one of the solutions is joining the Blue Flag program. Have you heard of the
Yeah,
Blue?
No.
yeah.
So
For the beaches.
Apparently, they were planning to do this for Minamar Beach in Panjim.
What's it
which-
called? The Blue Flag.
Yeah, the Blue Flag program. It's a global certification given to beaches, marinas, and sustainable boating tourism operations. And you have to basically conform to the rules and regulations of this program to be certified as a clean beach.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, and this one of the pillars of this Blue Flag program is to have continuous water monitoring done to ensure that you are meeting standards. So I think some of these notable beaches around India, they've started to do this. Some of these beaches are Shivrajpur Beach, Goan. I don't know where these beaches are. Gogla Beach, Kapad Beach.
I don't give a shit. Tell me about Arambol,
Barker is the only one that's actually
Can I say
within
this to you?
the right parameters.
This is the scariest thing because this has come full circle, right? I'm just saying to you, again, it comes back to enforcement, transparency. Who's doing their job? Who's not doing their job? People are swimming in these oceans and these rivers, and people are getting water to drink and stuff like that. If your health department is not doing their jobs, and enforcing the law and finding the people that are doing it's going to keep happening. All of these kind of things have been happening for years. It's not something new. If you've got a deficit of workers, you don't have enough staff in a government agency, somebody's not doing their job. How do you plan on fixing or implementing these rules?
If I had my way, I would give each of our voters one kick in their backside. That's what I would do.
What, for not voting?
For not voting right and not for doing their duty as a voter towards their family, themselves, and the society at large.
All right, we're going to get into. Listen, I'm done, dude. I'm absolutely sickened by this. Can we get into some comments? I want to get into some comments soon. But Joanne, I'm just saying this to you. This is not a problem. This is not a problem. Somebody's buying me dinner, dude. I heard a phone go off. Is that right?
That's me.
You're buying dinner. If your phone goes off during the show, Neil, you actually buying the dinner tonight because I heard your phone going off. Anybody's phone goes off during the show when I'm talking.
He was checking something.
What I'm saying.
I did put it on silent. I don't know why it did. My apologize.
All I'm saying to you guys is we're not going to make any progress and change this beautiful place that we live until somebody sits up and takes notice and you have real fundamental change that is happening here to prevent these things that continue to happen. And we look up to our politicians. We look up to the leaders of the country, of the state, of our local zones and villages to do the right thing and fix these problems. But if they're not interested, they don't give a shit, and everybody wants to line their pockets, these problems are never going to go away. Ladies and gentlemen, you tune into the Merv Britto Show. We do the show every week, and it's a live broadcast show. It is an interactive show. You have sent us some really, really nice messages. I love to go through and read these messages. Some of these messages are not very nice. Some of these messages say good, bad, and ugly stuff, and I want to read them all. Mr. Riberio Sa, Habibti, are you a Habibi or a Habibti?
Habibi. Habibti is for girls, Habibi is for boys.
So now I'm going to call you Habibti. Let's do some of these messages, Baba.
Hot Takes with Merv Britto.
Okay. Done. Do this. Yeah. Let's break it down. Okay, where are we going to start, dude? You're going to read these or am I going to read these?
You love Mapsa so much, but I'm very sorry. This is about the filth in Mapsa.
Get the mic closer to your mouth, mate. I can barely hear you.
Are these older messages?
Get the mic close to your mouth. Speak closer to your mouth. Yeah, go on.
These are some of the older comments that had come in when we visited Mapsa. All the filth and tried to get.
Rock and roll. Let's do this.
Okay.
Anytime, whenever you're ready. Take your time, yeah?
So Roland Rock says it's a new building. So when we had visited Mapsa.
Yeah. Go on, keep going. Roland Rocks.
It's a new building. Sadly, the municipality are way too lazy. All the vendors paying SOPO charges who are blocking the roads in the market should be accommodated out here. It will be the best market in Goa then.
Can I just preface this and say, you're going to read comments. Are they going to be shown on the screen? They're on the screen, right?
Yes.
So for all of you that sent us message, I love you. Thank you so much. We're going to read these messages, good, bad, or ugly. And I want to say in advance, some of them are going to be a little bit non-child friendly. They're going to have some curse words in them, I think.
Hang on. I think you should bleep those out.
No, we're not bleeping nothing out. Roland Rocks, thank you, my friend. I agree with you to a degree. These are beautiful. These are very expensive properties and real estate in Mapsa, which are a mess. And if these buildings, which is prime real estate, are not going to be properly used, the reason we did this video is because we want to highlight these problems. You've got some of the most prime real estate in Mapsa that's not properly being used, so that you spread out the parking problems, and it's causing it's a ripple effect. So these people have sent their comments based upon these reels. Superb English. Somebody, Adam Fernandez, said, "What's superb English?" We're speaking of English.
So
yeah, go on.
So Matthew talks about good that you raised this issue. I always saw Mapsa had a great potential, but civic sense matters along with that. The MLA enforces in the city to be followed.
Yeah.
So he's talking about the fish market, the fish building that
we went into. We recorded. You and I went in. Kirsten, you've got somebody named Sunil Patak. Please cover the story, the other side of the story. How lease leaders pay pittance to the Mapsa Municipal Council while illegal subleasing the shops at steep rents. Exactly how does the cut economy work, vendors selling stuff on foldable carts on the road along the KTC bus. Yeah, you know what, Sunil Patak, I agree with you. That's why we brought this. You're absolutely right. If you had this building fully developed and used the money that was segmented and that was there to fund the completion of this project, you could have a lot more stores and dense shops in one place, so you could save all these guys that show and sell their wares on carts that are able to use this building properly, and then the outside area could be used for proper parking. That could resolve a lot of problems. Some more questions. Chic Boutique by Clarissa. What is it?
She says, where is this young lad who's meant to be responsible for MAPSA?
Living a life of, I think she's talking about Joshua. I don't think he's living a life of luxury, but these issues need to be brought to a lot of people's attention so that they can be resolved.
I don't hear people say the word lad in Goa.
Well, she's used it.
Young lad.
The Chic Boutique by Clarissa. Is that what
I've never heard people say
Yes,
lad.
yes.
Go on,
That's
get
what
on with
my
it
mother
next.
says.
What else?
Finzap says, a high time this market goes under redevelopment.
It does. It should be. Listen, guys, just finish the building. Implement the rules and laws. Find the people that are breaking the rules and laws. Somebody has to watch the watcher.
You know what?
Son.
Just going for redevelopment is not going to solve the issue. The issue is with us. We need to change our ways. We need to be more, clean, know how to respect our open spaces, know how to love our state, and then things will become better.
Yeah, you keep wishing that, mate. And my hair will grow back. Sid, go on.
Sid Electrifying Vibe says, sad part is no one wants to see the change for betterment. Falya po yaar, disgusting.
Okay, come on. Let's go.
Drone Growth says, no wonder government banned OCI card holders from journalism because they push them to work.
What does that mean?
You know what it means? I'll tell you what. He thinks that I've got OCI. I do have OCI, but we don't want to have we don't have people like these. No wonder government banned OCI card holders. He's talking about me from journalism because they push them to work. We will push the politicians to do their jobs by highlighting these problems.
Okay.
You're absolutely right, Rohan Growth. It's not in a bad way, Baba. I'm not doing this to create or stir it up, but I'm saying to you, these problems are very basic, elephant in the room kind of problems. If you have proper development of these buildings, you could have 100 shops in the footprint of one building and use all the BS that is happening outside and the vendors on sheets and beds and tarps selling their wares. You could use all that space for proper parking.
Yeah.
We're doing more reels about Mapsa Market. Go on.
Yes. Unreal 23 says Mapsa municipality are just making money for themselves, including the mayor of Mapsa.
I don't know about this, dude. We haven't verified this. Okay. I thank you for your comments. There's more comments. Can we do another topic? Any more different topics?
Well,
The next.
The Mapsa Market, you got loads of these comments. A lot of them I agree with. A lot of them I disagree with. It boils down to one thing, Joanne. Enforcement. Part of my acronym's called? Theriac. Okay, sorry, Baba.
Yeah, the
Habibti.
next topic is a personal encounter with a shopkeeper
Sang.
named Ubaldo Braganza.
Okay. I spoke to Ubaldo, no?
Yes.
That handsome gentleman on the screen is Mervin, and the other handsome gentleman is Ubaldo. He was very kind. He was really sweet. What did Ubaldo have to say?
There's one handsome gentleman behind the camera also.
You trying to brown nose me?
No, he said behind the camera.
It was videotaping. That was you. We need to put a picture. Go on, dude. Read the comment.
Okay, so Deep Trans says, let's common people take ownership and do the development and send the invoice to government departments like a contractor would do.
I think that's brilliant. Who said that? Deep Trance.
Deep Trans.
Can I give you my opinion about this topic? I'm just saying to you, these guys have been operating, people like Ubaldo and a lot of other, that's not him. There's a lot of vendors and commercial shops and stores that have been there forever. Why don't you, just like a building community, when you build a brand new project, once completed, the builder has to hand that project to the residents. Why don't you let the MAPSA association of vendors, if you can create an association, run their own police and manage their own system?
Yeah, like a cooperative.
Like a cooperative. Let them manage and monitor themselves. Why should it be another third body? Privatize it and let them fix their own problems. Go on, next.
Yeah, Arun Graphi says the MMC should just hand over its budget to the shopkeepers and see the kind of transformation it can bring. The market is an absolute wonder and it deserves to be made a big tourist attraction and a pride for the country as a truly thriving people market. Have been mapping the market in my spare time and I'm still discovering hidden parts of it every time.
I love these comments. Guys, I love these comments. Keep them coming. Please keep them coming. There's a lot of very good comments.
I think he brought this up because Ubaldo said he fixed the footpath in front of his shop.
He had to fix it himself out of his own pocket.
Yes.
But that's not how it should be, right? There should be maintenance. There's budget. There's money from the council. There's money and budgets that needs to be spent to be able to replenish the coffers for the next financial year. If you don't spend this money, it gets wasted.
Yeah.
But you've got somebody in charge of that needs to be monitoring, and he has his enforcers that go out there and secretly undercover monitor what's happening.
I mean, market inspectors.
And you find the people that are breaking the rules, but spend the money so that our local goenkas, when we go shopping, have place to park. The building is complete, so you move a bunch of shops and vendors that are forced to listing their wares out on the street, which is supposed to be used for parking.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, one yellow bubble says, Mr. Braganza, you have done phenomenal service to our community, for over 50 years. I'm sure you've seen it all, hardship and corruption at its worst.
Oh my.
Just to make things happen and get to where you are today. Career politicians and corruption have destroyed your beautiful state.
Okay, enough. This is a long comment. You know what, Yellow Bubble? I appreciate it. You're absolutely right. We're not going to read the whole thing. Go on, read some more comments. By the way, Mr. Braganza done a phenomenal job servicing your community over the 50-year career. He's got a massive family, by the way, that operates shops all over Goa.
Bakeries and stuff.
So these are the kind of people that need to manage and monitor themselves. He's been doing it for many, many years. People respect these kind of people. They're not going away tomorrow. Let them manage and control themselves. No? Why leave it to the government? Yellow Bubble, I agree with you 100%. Another comment.
Yeah, where is Rishad?
I saw, you mentioned to me that Rishad had something to say about the casinos, right? Can we get into the casino part of it? Asamare? He sounds like Jay-Z when he does that, doesn't he? Like he's about to bust around.
1 minute, I have to open that.
There was a message that was not so complimentary to the show, and I wanted you to read that too. It's not always about the good things that are being said. Ladies and gentlemen, I love the comments. Keep them coming. Kirsten, you want to read one more about for a different topic? Yeah, the casinos is hot right now. We'll talk about the casinos because there's a lot of pissed off people about what's happening and why they're being allowed to bring more boats and ships and bigger ships.
That huge one.
The big one. So Rishad said, are we going to do it today or next week or next year? What? The dog.
Rishad the Cruise Real Estate.
Sam.
So he says, Merv, because these are multiple providers, that's like saying, why not have one large restaurant or gym or nightclub for Goa? The stronger argument would be, why not designate one another area for casinos? The revenue comes from jobs that casinos generate for many locals who work there. Personally, I don't gamble and I'm not a fan of casinos, but I'm looking at this pragmatically.
Rishad, mate, I'm not listen, dude, I may be the same Rishad I know Rishad, I know a Rishad de Cruz. I'm not a politician. I don't give it. The point I'm trying to make is that if this many people have a problem about this, and I'm here again, I'm all for capitalism, I'm all for competition. Are restaurants and gyms and nightclubs illegal? They're not. Are casinos illegal? They are. Why are they being allowed? And why do we need so many? And if this many residents, people that live and work and operate and own this state and the river and the waters, just like everybody else, why can't they have their stay and have this regulated by the people that we put in power, that we voted, public servants? So, Rishad, I'm not against the casinos, mate. I love to gamble. I've been to the Delta multiple times. I'm not against that. That's not what I said. But if it's illegal, why don't you put it in your state? Why don't you have casinos offshore in Gujarat? Tell Modi to put a casino there. Tell Adani to put one in his goddamn state. Why are you putting it in my river? And why do I need so many? That's all I said.
Are there none anywhere else in India, or like off the coast of India?
No.
Anywhere?
Why throw it in my state?
It's illegal in
Where?
Daman and Diu and Sikkim.
Yeah.
Why do we only have casinos offshore in Goa?
Yeah, I know it's illegal. That's why I'm asking.
So that's all I said, Rishad. I'm not against the casino industry, mate. But if it's legal, regulate it, administer it, make sure they're paying their share of taxes, making sure they're not polluting the river, their garbage is being properly recycled. I don't have a problem. Why do we need one more, is my point. If it's illegal, take the next one and put it in your state. That's all I said. You want to read some more comments? Come on.
One person named Negotiator Connecting Domes is asking, sir, who are you?
Who am I?
He wants to know who you
Who am I? I'm a concerned Goan, somebody who's really passionate and love this place where I live. I've moved here from overseas, from the States. You can tell by my accent at times. I love this place, and I moved here specifically because I wanted, through all the BS that you have to put up with and go through, this is at times can be a madhouse, but I choose to live here, and this is the only way I get to contribute to trying and do my 2 cents and share my opinion to try and change these problems that are happening. My beautiful wife is looking at me, and you know why I moved here.
I know.
You know how passionate I am about Goa. I'm just a concerned Goan. Give me one more, dude. Give me one more.
IR Archie says, what if these boats weren't there? The Madai project would undoubtedly go ahead.
The what? The what project?
Madai.
Madi, I don't know. That's conjecture. I don't know, dude. Give me another one. Let's end on a happy one. Can we talk something about a good thing that somebody's doing?
No, about that German ultra marathon runner, that Ultrarunner.
Okay, no more comments. Let's do it. No, I'm not going to get into it. We got a couple of things. We got to wind it down. We're going to run short of time again. We need to speak about a couple of things very, very quickly. You wanted to talk about?
I just thought a positive thing, because
good.
there's a lady called Alicia, and she's a German ultra runner, and she's run 700 kilometers solo from Colaba in Mumbai through Goa, and she says she's doing it for women's empowerment.
I love it.
So I just thought, what a brilliant thing to do. She just basically just wanted to raise awareness and just let people know you can do whatever you like, don't be held back. You can achieve success. And she said she's been really moved by people's kindness, because people had warned her it could be a little bit dangerous, traveling on your own and running on your own. But she's encountered some really lovely people, people like lovely acts of kindness, buying water for her. And I think she got very emotional with some of the kindness that's been shown to her.
I love this, dude.
It's really
I
nice,
love this.
Isn't it? What a lovely, lovely thing to do.
700 clicks, mate. Yeah. That's a long way. But you know what? This is what we need to highlight. It's sad because it's a foreigner. It's a non-Indian. It's a great thing. I salute you. Happy Women's Day for last week. Again, you're doing something that's brilliant, and I salute you for it. Mm-hmm. This is what you need more of, people bringing awareness to these topics.
Yeah.
She's not Goan, she's not Indian, but she's happy to sacrifice her body and do something that is off the charts, dude. And
2 weeks worth of running.
Oh my God.
Merv,
Yeah, Baba.
you know what's shocking to me?
Tell me.
Is that the people outside of India, non-Goans, people are not Indians for that matter, are more concerned about Goa, about women's safety, about all of these issues than we are.
I don't know. You say that, but it's not. I'm very concerned about these things.
See, there was somebody who asked, who are you? Hey, mate, he's actually doing something about it. He's a Goan. Merv is a Goan at heart. Will always be a Goan. He has ancestry here, and he's doing something about it. I ask you, who are you? What are you doing?
I don't know. Was it meant in a
Who knows? Nobody knows.
But I know.
difference.
Listen, as a Goan, I know the mentality. Who are you? Somebody's getting off the ass and doing something about it. And you know what? My salute to those people. You are amazing. You're a great human for doing so. I next week, I'll highlight one guy, a Russian guy, who is going about. He is so amazed by Goa. Whenever something like Shigmo is passing in front of his house, maybe in Arambol where he stays, we should get him on the show. He's amazing. He speaks only Russian, unfortunately. But I see him going about cleaning garbage dump sites that none of our bloody Goans will do.
But that's the point I'm trying to make.
Shame on you, bloody Goans. I respect for those people more than I expect you.
Didn't we have somebody last week in Marve or in one of the beaches in Mumbai that started cleaning the beach? They got a bunch of people together, and it was a lady or a guy that got all these people together. When did we talk about that?
We've spoken about that a few times. But I think there's been some regular drives like that here in Goa. So,
but they're not that popular. People don't get involved, mate.
For every Goan that comes out, I'll give you 1,000 rupees, Joanne. They don't come out, but they will talk big. They won't come out and vote, but they'll say cry about how bad Goa is becoming.
Okay, so let's
Sorry, this is very personal to me, and I will speak my mind on this.
But that's why you do the show, Ajo. We do the show because of this specific reason. We get a chance, a platform to be able to air our opinions and try and make a change. This is our own 2 cents that we can contribute to fixing problems. Hats off. What's that German lady who's running a name again?
Alicia. So she's got a handle, a social media handle called Run the World with Alicia.
Say it again.
Here it is.
Run the World with Alicia.
Check her out, dude. It's on the screen.
Handle.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is somebody you need to support. And I think this is brilliant because it takes balls, it takes guts, it takes grit.
Absolutely.
It takes determination, it takes discipline to be able to do something. This is not easy to do. Hats off to her. And we've got a lot of Goans that are doing great things that I'd love to highlight. We'd love to talk about these things. We'd love to promote locals, people that are from India, from Goa, that are doing great things. We do it all the time.
Like Dr. Nandita, for example. There are a lot of good Goans doing great work.
Yeah.
My hats off to you. You are the true Goans. The guys who are keeping quiet and complaining about it and doing nothing about it, you all are not really Goans, mate.
We've talked so many times. Who's that guy that won the Muay Thai challenge, Clive or whatever the guy's name is, from South Goa, who got the gold medal?
Yep.
We talk about positives all the time. We talk about great things that Goans are doing. We try to highlight those as much as possible. There's loads of stuff, good things that are being done. It's just sad because a lot of times what makes the news is the negative stuff, and that's why we talk about it, to make people aware of it. You want to talk about anything else? Women's Day last week. We can't stop just because it was Women's Day last week. Can we talk about anything? No more? We're going to end the show?
There was one topic that I just wanted to mention because it was something that Kirsten had come across.
Escort sites.
No.
Come on, let's talk about it.
No, it was basically about the Supreme Court has turned down a plea for menstrual leave. For
menstrual?
Women. Yeah.
Like pre-menstrual?
No, menstrual, when you're having your menstrual cycle.
Oh my God, it's a no-no. You can't talk about this, Joanne. You can't talk about People don't talk about sex. What's the problem? What did the Supreme Court get involved?
They basically turned it down because they're essentially saying that employers will not hire women if we make such a law because it will...
Are you kidding me?
...create some kind of inequality. However, there's 2 sides to this coin. The point that I just wanted to make is I don't really feel that you need to have something like menstrual leave, but I really do feel that women's issues should be more openly talked about. Because at the end of the day, I think that, I've heard that, when women are on their menstrual cycle, they're not allowed to participate in festivals and celebrations and they get sidelined and put to the side. Now, this is something I don't know what the motivation behind this was about bringing this bill
You really
forward.
need the Supreme Court to tell you that's illegal?
Well, no, they're not saying it's illegal. They're basically saying they don't want to grant something specifically known as menstrual leave.
Oh, balls. It shouldn't happen.
The point is, I'm saying you don't necessarily need it. Women don't need it. If you're not well, you're not well. That's it, full stop.
Joanne.
It's by the way, sorry, Joy,
Sorry.
I'm not making light of it. I'm not trying to this thing. I'm not a woman, so I don't understand. There's a lot of pain involved and all that kind of stuff. But women operate around the world. And there are people up like Dr. Nandu said last week, there are moms that are like rock stars, dude. They work their tails off. They don't get a day off. They don't get to apply for leave. I totally disagree with this.
What do you mean? What do you disagree with?
Just you shouldn't need special leave or
no,
make it a rule.
You don't need special leave. That's what I'm saying. You don't need special leave. However,
I'm agreeing with you.
I know, but what I'm saying is I do feel that women's issues in India needs to be talked about more, needs to be brought to the forefront because of the fact that, women are quite often sidelined. They are, made to be quiet, sit on the sidelines, speak when you're spoken to, seen and not heard. That this kind of stuff does happen. And I'm not saying it's necessarily happening in Goa because it's very
It happens in Goa. It happens all over India. It's a patriarchal society.
Yeah, well,
and it's wrong.
We know that. We know it's generally speaking a patriarchal society. However, I'm just saying, it doesn't hurt for people to become more open. If you've got a problem, if you've got an issue, if you're not well, you should be able to speak up and talk about it. And it just triggered something for me that there was a short film, a British short film won at the BAFTAs, and it was about endometriosis because this is all female things. They're all linked. Now, something like endometriosis sometimes is an issue. It's a disease, and people can talk about it as if it's you just get really bad period pains, but there's lots of scarring tissue. Now, it's not just in the female area. I've found out from listening to an interview that this scar tissue can build up around your heart, your arteries, all sorts of, not your arteries, and your major organs and
Is
stuff.
that what you're talking about?
Endometriosis. Now, a lot of women have to have hysterectomies and things like that because they don't know what it is that they're dealing with. Even a lot of the doctors and medical, fraternity just don't even know what it is that can trigger these things, and also all of the symptoms. So she's won this short film award called This is Endometriosis. Anyway, I'm just saying, I just think, women should be able to speak up more, and we should give more of a voice to women. And I've actually this week been invited to a WhatsApp group, which is called Menopausal Mates Goa. So people who are approaching...
Menopausal Mates. Can I join that club?
Menopausal Mates Goa. So people who are approaching menopause, perimenopause, all of these different kinds of things. All I'm saying, women, we also need to rise up and speak together, communicate, and have our voices heard, and know that we can do anything. And also to have a great example of Alicia doing that 700-kilometer run from Mumbai to Goa is just a lovely one-off example of to just remind people, hey, ladies, you can achieve.
You can do anything you put your mind. Stop being a goddamn snowflake, man or woman, male or female. Just listen. I'm a big proponent, by the way, of equal rights. I've grown up and I'm a mama's boy. I've got 3 beautiful sisters. I've got 2 lovely, beautiful nieces. I'm a big proponent for equal rights and women's rights. And it scares me. It saddens me because it's still something that is so taboo here in India to talk about premenstrual or menstrual problems that women might have. Yeah. Mate, women have operated for many, many years and done their jobs without any kind of complaints. And your mothers, like Dr. Nandu mentioned last week, the women have held the society together for many, many years. Mm-hmm. They don't have a chance to take a day off when you're on your menstrual cycle, and you still feed the baby. Yeah. So I agree with you 100%. I don't need the Supreme Court telling me that it's
if you're
right
ill, you're ill, you take a sick day. But you don't need it something like labeled as menstrual leave. I don't think maternity leave, obviously paternity leave.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Common
all
sense.
of these things.
Common sense.
We need to move forward with these things.
I love that when people talk more about these things. The fact of the matter is that's another huge reason we do these shows. The more you talk about these, people educate people and things get known and talked about, the better educated. Dr. Nandu talked about transgender and a lot of these problems. Women with ADHD. It's not ADHD. There are different types of things. Menopause. Yeah. My beautiful bride, I love you to bits. It's at that stage in your life. It's nice to be able to talk about these things and encourage more people to talk about these things. And this is how you understand and you fix problems.
Because people's bodies are going through actual changes. It means that how you always were is not how you will always continue to be, because your hormones change, everything changes about you. So these things, I think we just need to give voice to some of these platforms also.
Absolutely. I love the fact that, sorry Ajay, go on.
Good policy to follow in terms of maternity and paternity leave is Germany. They give 6 weeks before birth leave, optional leave, and 8 weeks after birth, but mandatory leave. Okay. Yeah. They also have the concept of parental leave, which applies to the father. So if both choose to take, they can take leave up to 3 years per parent per child. Okay, I
think it's awesome, dude.
And they can take it at the same time or one after another. Up to 24 months can be postponed until the child turns 8. This is very forward thinking.
Ajay, I'll give you $1 million, US dollars, $1 million right now if you can read my mind.
Okay, let me think.
What am I thinking?
Teriyaki, baby.
Nope.
Oh, God.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Now, this is a country that's a forward country. Germany they're spot on, dude. You're having children. You're bringing life into this world. If you're not going to take the time to raise your babies and children, the next generation, and the rules, the regulations, society demands that you take the leave and the time they give you that. you should follow this. I mean, take care of your kids. Listen, it's very expensive in the West to have daycare and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And by the time you pay for your kids' daycare, you have no money left. Take the time, make it possible, make it women an option to be able to stay home, pregnancy, pre, post. Take care of yourselves, take care of your kids. Talk about these things. Make sure that it's being done all around the world. Don't reinvent the wheel. I love the fact that you're talking about these women's issues, Joanne. They're not a taboo topic. Here at the Merv Britto Show, we talk about everything. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of another episode of the Merv Britto Show. Yes, Mr. Riberio Sa.
And the nominees are
Yeah.
Hey, Baba, you want to talk about the Oscars and Paddy's Day? When is Paddy's
that's
Day?
on Tuesday. St. Patrick's Day, is on Tuesday. So
St. Patrick Day, to all the Irish people out there in Goa or around the world listening to the show, a very good Paddy's Day.
Very
What do you say?
happy St.
Very happy
Patrick's.
celebration. Green beer. We used to celebrate in the U.S. We'd have green beer, dude, on Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
Boston and all these, everywhere, dude. Anyway, for all of you, very happy in advance to
Yeah.
you and your family, a lot of people that are around the world that have the Irish heritage.
the Irish.
Irish. Happy Paddy's Day. And the Oscar goes to you. Want to talk about it, Ribeiro Sa?
I don't know that much.
The Oscars.
Yeah.
It is one of the biggest. They've got a bit of a scare, by the way. There's people in the States that are worried about hosting these or going to the Oscars because of the war and
Yeah.
the problems that they're having in the U.S. But it's the Oscars night very
The
soon.
98th Academy Awards this evening. Yeah. So
Oh, tonight?
Yeah, this evening. Well, yeah. I mean,
US.
in the US. Yeah, Sunday evening in the US.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be a big night, but. I can see that. I think it will probably be a bit muted this year, I would suggest, because the war is going on, and I just think there'll be quite a different atmosphere, actually.
It is. It's sad because this is how
tricky.
crazy this world has gotten. You've
Yeah.
got people making decisions that could affect the global economy financially. And you know what? I'm not going to get into this at the end of the show, but it bothers me. And we spoke about this in length about the fact that what's happening right now in this world, you've got enough negativity
Yeah.
and problems. You don't need world leaders making it worse. This is going to end up a World War III, mate. It's a tinderbox out there.
I once went to the Oscars.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I was outside. I went there with a friend. My friend was on a photographic assignment, and
Nice.
I had some holiday to take. And I basically rung her up and said, "Do you fancy a friend traveling with you?" And so I went spontaneously to the US to Santa Monica. We were staying, and actually we sneaked up the back street, and we were standing while all of the huge limousines were pulling up in front of the theatre. And who was it? Who was that one? It was in Kill Bill. Who's that?
Uma Thurman.
Yeah, she got out of her limousine right in front of us,
Ooh.
and it was the year that Halle Berry, who looked absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
she
she was-
won her Oscar.
Let me guess, that was for which movie was that?
I can't remember, but she looked absolutely stunning. But it was amazing. It was just phenomenal. And then afterwards, it was like police line, do not cross. I actually just took some of that tape up and I saved it because
Did you?
a little bit.
You big
It was just
little
a little bit of a
klepto.
memento. But yeah, they were saying, no, you can't come here. You can't come here. And I said to my friend, no, come on, let's go up the back street. And we just sneaked through and we got right far up.
That's something that Kirsten likes to do. Goes up the
Amazing.
back side,
I know which
the back
movie
street.
Halle Berry won the Oscars
What was
for.
that?
Monsters Ball.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Wow, Joy. A million points to you. We've come to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. We've been on the air for 2 hours. We've enjoyed every bit of it. For all of those who've tuned in, for people that are actually watching the show,
Happy Mother's Day, Mum.
we're not done, sweetie. You can say something.
I'm just saying.
I was going to read something that my sister Paula sent me, and I think is apropos at this time. There's a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, a lot of people going through very, very difficult times. And if you can put a smile on somebody's face, reach a hand out, like Dr. Nandita said,
Yeah.
you don't know what the other person's going through at that time.
Yeah.
It's a message that Paula puts out every day. And basically what she had sent to us was, what a mess our world is in. I pray for wisdom and peace. Both appear to be in shortfall. We must pray. We must have faith that things will work out. And the reason we say our prayers, things work out for the best, it's up to the Almighty. But if you can make somebody smile, if you can lighten somebody's load at a time when there's so much going wrong in this world, as I don't care what you are, what race, creed, color, religion you are, we've got enough pain and discomfort in this world. If you can reach out and make somebody's life a little bit easier and understand a problem,
Yeah.
or lighten somebody's load, right?
Absolutely.
Take this opportunity to do what you can to bring a little bit more comfort rather than the pain and the stress that a lot of people are going through that we might not even understand or know. Ladies and gentlemen, from all of us here at the Merv Britto Show, a very, very happy good evening and Sunday evening to you all, wherever you may be. We hope that you will get involved and do what you can to ease the pain of somebody else, right?
Yeah, just reach out and just be a friendly helping hand to people.
We'll be back on the air next Sunday. Again, this is the entire team from the Merv Britto Show saying thank you for tuning in. Until the next week, this is Merv Britto, and we're out.